Thank you, Robert. I ran out of breath quick on that one.
That was very fast. What's up, guys? It's Gravy Day, Pass the Gravy, episode 386, and we are now just one episode away from the 7th annual Pass the Gravy Christmas Spooktacular.
Yes.
Coming up December 19th.
Yes.
I cannot wait for it, but we got a whole fun-filled podcast to talk about all kinds of cool stuff for you. We got new headphones we're going to talk about. That'll be fun. I don't know why I led with that. Spider-Man, I guess you guys are probably excited for Spider-Man. And then Pat and I are going to talk about how rich we're going to be when we continue gambling well. Then also, we have our 2020 Gravies Nominees for our Spooktacular coming up. We wanted to give you enough advance notice that if you are a nominee, you want to be sure that you can be in attendance. Again, there'll be a socially distanced event. But before we get into the regular podcast, let's just start with the pre-cum segment, the pre-comeback kid segment. Does anybody have any thoughts? Because I got a couple of things I can start us with today. Just if y'all want to just marinate, think of something while I'm doing this. But
yeah, you start us off.
Hold on. What do you call people that live in the middle? Like, there's Northerners, Southerners, Mideast, Midwest. What about the middle? Like in the middle of the United States.
Dude, okay, so you're talking about like Oklahoma and shit. We don't call them. Leave them alone.
Leave them
They're
alone.
kind of their own thing.
Yeah, like you visit when you need to hit a casino. Other than that, nah.
I was thinking about this.
Instead.
I was thinking about it earlier, and I wasn't sure if it was like a memory lapse that I couldn't just remember, or like it was just frustrating me. I'm like, what do you call the people in the middle?
I feel like Midwesterners is like a thing. I've heard that before.
Well, you don't call the people anything. You just call them flyovers.
States. Yeah, flyover states.
Okay.
We don't call them that. Other people call them that.
Like Iowa. What are you doing?
Like, I mean, they're good at basketball. Good at college basketball, apparently. I know that now. But that's about it. Like a couple football games every now and then. Shout out to Todd Voss. I know he went to Iowa State. We're not talking shit about Iowa State to you, but I in the power rankings of states, that's definitely like not in the top 10, right? Like the SEC of states is like, Texas is definitely in the SEC. You probably got like New York, California, Florida, all of those. Like those would be the big ones.
None of those states you named sound like a good place to live.
But like those are the big states,
Alaska's a big state.
If you're power ranking states, Iowa's probably in the middle of the pack. Just like Texas, it's in the middle of the country.
Louisiana and Nevada, I think, would both be tight to live in. Arizona seems like a pretty chill state. Wyoming gets cold, but that would be a cool one. Who does?
Kyler.
Oh, well, he's a transplant.
Kyler Murray. Fuck him. And he lived in Oklahoma. What a bad dude.
The Carolinas.
I wouldn't back him this weekend, I'll tell you that much.
The Carolinas seem like they would be a really fun state to live in.
Carolinas are pretty cool, but I've always had a problem where it's like, why don't we just have one Carolina?
Because it's fun to have two.
South. We don't need a West Virginia and a regular Virginia. We just need a Virginia. It's like be the same thing.
No,
we don't need a North and South Dakota. Like, why did we come up with two names of states? Because we couldn't think of a name for just one. Like, just if we can't think of a real name, its own name, then just keep them all one. Carolina, Carolina.
North and South Dakota, I think we could combine, but the other ones, like, it's nice to have that little like state rivalry within like state rivalries. Like, yeah, Texas and Oklahoma, we have our thing, but imagine if there was a North Texas and South Texas, we'd be at each other's throats all the goddamn time. But also, if anybody tried to fuck with the other one, it'd be like the sibling thing. Like, I can fuck with them, you can't fuck with them. Like it's like Houston and Dallas. Like, fuck you, but also. Nobody else gets to say shit because they're still in Texas. They're still no. That's not true.
See, that's what I was like. Yeah. I can
San
totally
Antonio
talk shit about Dallas.
Okay, it's Houston and San Antonio because we shit talk San Antonio, but you know what? They've got the Alamo. That's pretty fucking Texas.
It's also like a loss.
Outside of the state, they can't shit talk San Antonio. We can. That's our thing. They're our little brother.
Okay.
We can
Us and
shave their
Charles
head.
Barkley.
You can't shave their head. Yeah. Well, Charles Barkley, specifically the San Antonio women.
That's true. Robert, you were looking up stuff. Did you find any names?
No, I couldn't find anything. It's just there's just
The
no name for them.
flyoveries. Flyoveries is what we're gonna call it.
Oh.
That's what I'll call it.
We could just call them the middle children. Nobody gives a shit about them anyway.
Middle children, yeah, maybe. I like flyoveries though.
Yeah,
That's a good
fly
one.
ovaries.
We're gonna go with that. Anybody else got anything? No.
Nope.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know,
I'll
man.
start.
Fly
I'll start
ovaries is
rolling.
hard to top.
I've been watching a lot of like TV as of late, but started to kind of get into Christmas movies. Kind of started to dabble. Emma and I are trying to knock out one a day. Last night watched Four Christmases. We tried to knock out the Vince Vaughn ones first. We started Fred Claus, which I think I said last year, super underrated Christmas movie. Just
Still never seen it.
He's like just the like shithead brother of Santa,
I know
which is
what
pretty
it is.
great.
I just haven't seen it.
Well, it's a good one. We watched that. That was awesome. And just Fred Claus, underrated Christmas movie for sure. And then I've also been with TV or movies or whatever. Just I'm going through that like withdrawal phase of when you watch a show you really get into, and then it ends, and you're like, damn it. Like, now what do I do? And I would just rewatch The Sopranos, and it was just like, that's such a fucking good show. And like, I'm already into all my Italian slang I was regularly picking up then and just throwing around the house, saying marrone anytime anything didn't go the way I wanted it to. Like, I wanted to buy gabagool all the time. I made me really want to start smoking cigars on the reg. But like, I was just like, fuck, I'm pissed that it's over with. And there is a prequel coming out in March, I want to say, next year, which kind of would be cool. So I'm just gonna probably try and watch it all the way through again before that starts. But
You have
Sopranos
to.
and Breaking Bad are like 1 and 2 for me, and like best shows. And Lost is up there with me too. But like, I understand how Lost doesn't get the love that it should.
I'm actually excited. I'm going to start later tonight. Me and my buddy are going to rewatch The Shield, which if you never saw it, I've talked about it before. Phenomenal fucking show. And it's also it's funny to watch those because it's like, FX always has that one awesome show at all times. This was like the first one or one of the first ones of their awesome shows. And it's also pre-HD. So like all the cameras are like, you go back and watch and you're like, this is shit. Like,
yeah, that's kind of how Sopranos was.
Like, no, it's different than that though. Cause it's like, like when you watch like even the Andy Griffith show, like old school TV, it's just black and white, but it's clear. For some reason, I feel like just before HD happened, everything got blurry again. I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is just like the Mandela effect in my brain that I'm completely remembering things wrong, or if it was just like the tint of that specific show. Because like I said, I haven't watched this in probably 8 years, so I might watch it tonight and be like, never mind, this is clear as shit. I'm an idiot. But I feel like everyone knows what I'm talking about. Like that just before HD days. Like after watching HD, everything looks like it was a pixelated Windows 98 video game. Like it was just awful.
It was just like it was buffering. It wasn't quite there. Like when your internet's kind of flickering in and out, and you're watching Netflix, and you're like, "What? I'm watching The Office, but like it's very blurry. I know that's Michael, but I can't really see his expressions on his face."
Is this a Minecraft episode? What is going on?
But yeah, I'm going through that withdrawal phase where it's just like I missed that show. And
I'm about to be there with It's Always Sunny. I started season 12 last night too, which I'm pretty sure is the last one on Hulu.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm starting Stranger Things next or Schitt's Creek. I've got like 9, so I'll probably end up rewatching Parks and Rec because I can't decide on a new one.
That's usually how we go. Where we're like, oh well, we'll just watch The Office. Now it's just random Christmas movies, but like. Also, you got to watch all the Office Christmas specials. Like you got to watch all those.
You know what else I was thinking about doing is once I'm done with this, I might just watch all of Marvel. Like go back and watch all 27 movies, Robert?
Yeah, it's a pretty high number.
Yeah. I actually still haven't seen Far From Home yet, which is like blasphemous.
I think it's Homeward Bound is what you're talking about.
Oh no, I've seen Homeward Bound.
Oh, okay.
Shadow hits me right in the heart every time.
Fucking dude,
He's such a good
Shadow.
boy. He's such a good boy. And Chance. Good voice.
I don't even care what the cast name. It's Chance is
Sassy.
cool. Sassy, right? Michael J. Fox was Chance. Chance was cool. He was probably my faves. But
and Sally Field was sassy. Like, what a fucking get.
Who is Shadow?
I think he was just like a voice actor. I don't think he was a big guy. I'm just an
old man that sounds like this.
That's actually a damn good impression.
Yeah.
Bravo to you, sir.
I never gonna forget that movie. Homeward Bound, man. But all right, that's all I got for the pre-com segment. But let's move along to the Comeback Kid segment. Before we do that, real quick though, it is the last week right now for you guys. As you're listening to this on December 9th, it is the last week where you can guarantee that you will get your orders by Christmas if you order from PassTheGravyMerch.com. You missed out on the Cyber Monday sale. We had an extended Cyber Monday sale. Now the Cyber Monday sale's gone, but they are pretty affordable prices. And ladies, don't forget, you get $1 off when you purchase our ladies products. Pat's got his Christmas sweater, the Box Hunter Christmas sweater that we just spoke into existence last year. And I guess that was like a shirt idea that we had for like a while, and then we finally just put it into motion last year. We kind of figured it out.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out how to do it for a shirt, and then you just came to me one day and you were like, dude, Christmas present sweater. And I was like, you're a fucking genius.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
So yeah, you can get your ugly Christmas sweaters. I'm wearing my Darlin' Like a Marlin one. Some are saying it's the best one that we have. Although we all know the best one that we have is the Good News I Saw a Dog Today. And that is our best selling ugly Christmas sweater. You can get it in green. You can get it in red. We have a Dallas Killed JFK Christmas sweater. You can get that in blue, green, and I think red as well, but like whatever, you can get them in all kinds of colors. Check all the color options. You can get our we have a Pastronaut sweatshirt you can get. We got hoodies, we got face covers, we got Pat's wearing the brand new trucker hats that we got available. You can go get
snapback.
all of the dude, look at that. Show it off.
Super comfortable.
Ooh,
oh yeah,
you're gonna want to get one.
Like look. I'm going bald. Bam! Now you can't tell. Look at that.
Nobody can tell.
Look at that.
Nobody. Now he's just looking sharp with this awesome hat. Hey, that's a fresh hat, young man.
Just a hat.
Here's a
guy.
job. Yeah, he's a hat guy. He's a hat guy. But you can go get all this awesome merch. PassTheGravyMerch.com. And this is the last week that you will be 100% guaranteed shipping by Christmas. So if you want your stuff in by then, PassTheGravyMerch.com. Help your favorite podcast out. And then also screenshot us, picture your order. We'll give you a shout out next week. But I appreciate everybody that bought in on the Cyber Monday sale, the extended Cyber Monday sale, and appreciate Robert for helping us set all that up. That is PassTheGravyMerch.com. Get all of this stuff while you still can by Christmas. So here we go. It's the Comeback Kids segment. We'll begin right now.
It's the comeback kid. Comeback kid of the week. The comeback kid of the week. Bitch.
So just a little behind the scenes stuff right now. We're working on. Robert is like a whiz kid behind the computer now, and he's found out how to play the audio, even though we couldn't play it before. So now we're trying to do that. So we're gonna work out the kinks on it, but we got to do that first one. So here we go. It's the Comeback Kid. Our first Comeback Kid is technology, because Robert figured out technology, and there we go. Shout out to Robert for improving the quality of the show. So our real first Comeback Kid is Spider-Man. Because is there just as somebody that doesn't know why Spider-Man is 100% back, like I've just seen everybody talking about it, and it's one of those trending things where I'm like, I don't understand all of it. Is every Spider-Man coming back? Is that what it's what it makes it seem like?
So the rumor has been for a while that they were going to do like a Into the Spider-Verse movie, which was the big animated one that they had.
Right? Where there's like a million Spider-Mans.
Yeah, and it was a big comic for them back in the day, and it's basically a crossover of like all these different universes. So the first one that really made it kind of like there's been the rumors happening, and then the guy that played Doc Ock in what was it, Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, with Tobey Maguire.
With Tobey Maguire. Alfred Molina was his name. It was confirmed that he was coming back playing the role, so everyone was like, oh, like it's got to be happening. And then the next day it confirmed that Andrew Garfield and what's her name from the damn cologne commercials? That something
Emma
Stone.
Stone?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Yeah,
It was
They're-
Emma Stone.
they're coming back, and so are Toby and redhead. What's her name?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. Thank you. She's a redhead, but they're all coming back. So it's like they haven't officially confirmed it yet, but yeah, it's confirmed. We're getting a Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, or they're just playing the cruelest trick ever on us.
Imagine if it was just all rumors, none of it came true, and we all got our hopes up for nothing.
Like all it was is like they just showed.
They
like,
just wanted to
like,
trend.
at the end of the credits, it was just all of them hugging in a giant picture. Like, gotcha. See, they're in the film. I mean, I would revolt.
So just like as somebody who doesn't understand those into the Spider-Verse thing, like the concept of it is there's just a bunch of Spider-Mans walking around.
Well, it's the multiverse concept where there's a shit ton of universes, and in each one, you know, it might be you, but you might look different, or it might be a different person that becomes Spider-Man, or there's a spider pig, or you know,
There's a
there's
spider
you know,
pig?
Pigs are like humans.
That's pretty
There's
sick.
there's a million universes, and each one is a little bit different. So that's kind of, and also fans are excited because Gwen Stacy, who is Andrew Garfield's, you know, that Emma Stone played, and one of them, she is Spider Woman. So like, there's so many possibilities, and it's just Marvel does everything well, so it's gonna be awesome.
Well, I just saw everybody was talking about it on Twitter, so I'm sure you guys are pretty jacked up about it. My favorite Spider-Man has to be the Black Spider-Man, where it was like the black outfit, like the reverse.
It's the
Spider-Man, right?
the Venom symbiote got attached to him.
That guy. I like that guy because he was like the bad boy Spider-Man.
Yeah, it is a really cool outfit.
I never watched the show. I never watched that one, but like I was like, that's the coolest. Like that's
Remember,
like his like alternate uni.
I believe in the in Tony
That's
Hawk
for the
Pro Skater
homecoming
2,
game.
in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, you could unlock Spider-Man, and then you could also unlock that outfit for Spider-Man,
What?
which was pretty dope.
I'm gonna have to go back and see if the new one has that option. I don't think it does.
I don't believe it does. Sony's pretty strict on licensing nowadays.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So Spider-Man, that's the comeback kid. Our other comeback kid is Apple AirPods, headphones, all of those together because
Apple Airphones,
AirPod Maxes,
head pods.
which we made Pat look up before we started recording because he didn't know what I was talking about. But the AirPod Maxes are just over-the-ear headphones. Like they made a whole big deal about, hey, this is something new. Like it's like they're wireless over-the-ear headphones. Like cool. Which Apple does this, and I love Apple, but like they do kind of try and reinvent the exact same thing over and over again. It's like, all right, what we're gonna get you away from is over-the-ear headphones. You're gonna throw these buds in your ear, and then boom, we're bringing the over-the-ear headphones back, and they're cool again. And you're like, what? Okay, and they're like $500. So many people are gonna buy these for Christmas just because like they want to be in on the Apple train. And like I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not gonna eventually get some because I probably will because I'm an idiot and I always buy things that are Apple at some point, but they kind of look cool, I think. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to spend $500. But they look cool.
It's perfect how you worded it too. Like, oh look, we brought it back. This is totally us. We did it. And everyone's like, dude, I've had Beats by Dre for like 6 years.
No, these are ours. They're Apple. And
No,
like,
no,
we do
but
like
it's Apple.
Apple.
But they just always do this. So like, oh look, we've got earbuds now. You can put earbuds in, and everyone's like, all right, we had those. They're like, all right, well now when you lose your earbuds, we have strings that you can attach. They're like, you just made stringed headphones that come apart and you're still going to lose all parts of it. They're like, oh, okay, well now we've got headphones. See, we're
What about these though,
innovating.
huh?
Like, you're not innovating anything. You're just doing everything what everyone else is doing 3 years later.
But I don't know if you have the same like thought process as I do. I know Robert's anti-Apple everything. He hates it. He's weird about that. And actually, I have something I got to bring up to Robert after we get through this. But I always start with this, like when Apple comes out with some new product that seems like, all right, like this is a little like unnecessary. I'm always like, that's dumb. Like, why would I need an iPad? Like, dude, that's just like a phone. It's like a big phone. Like I have a phone. If I want to watch something on my phone, I'll watch it on my phone. And then I'm like, kind of want an iPad. That does look pretty sweet. Like, you know, I could just have this big touch screen and I wouldn't have to be on my phone all the time, even though my phone's in my pocket. But like, you know, maybe I'll get an iPad. Then I get an iPad. And then I'm like, oh, Apple Watch came out, dude. Like, I have a phone. It tells me time. Why do I need to track my steps? Why would I need this? I don't care. This is dumb. Why would I need to look up my text messages on my wrist? And then, you know, I go to like a Christmas with my family and I see that they all have the Apple Watches. And I'm like, that's pretty sweet. That, like, you can just check your, like, somebody texts you, just pops up on your wrist. Like, that's pretty sick. You can like just answer a phone call. Like, I don't want an Apple Watch. Like AirPods, dude, why would I want to pay extra money to just have these in a little charging port? I got the kind just plug into my phone. I have a dongle that attaches so I don't have to have a headphone jack. I'm good. Why would I ever want to do that? And then I got the headphones and I was like, these are the shit. Like, I love these. And that's just how it always works. And then like it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. And it's going to happen again. And I'm just like, eventually I'm going to be like, I kind of want the over-the-ear headphones. Even though now I think it's kind of like they're silly looking. Like, that's how Apple works. And then you just realize like Apple is the best at everything. And I'm not paid by Apple. I wish I was. But like, they're just the shit.
It's weird that they made their own headphones when they already own Beats.
I think they don't anymore.
They don't? I thought they still did.
I thought they had a licensing deal. Maybe they don't own them.
I thought they bought them. But
Oh, they might have.
I guess that's...
But yeah, then why wouldn't you just have like Beats by Apple at that point?
Yeah.
Beats by Dre featuring Apple. Because like it's like a rap song.
I don't know, the case for them looks weird. Like, it doesn't actually cover the whole headphones. It just covers like the ear cups.
And hear me out. It kind of makes them look like boobs.
Yeah.
Kind of makes them look
like
like
a
boobs.
purse. Or like a purse.
Like a purse with boobs in it. I said like made him look like boobs, and Pat immediately picks up his phone to search it. He's like,
"Yep, I'm 100% need to see this case."
And I think a lot of you guys right now, I'll pause while everybody listening or watching goes and pulls up their phone, and you're gonna be like, Alex, you're right. They kind of do look like boobs. They do, don't they, Pat? Boobs. Boobs, dude.
BEWBS Beebs.
Bibs. So yeah, those are back, and I mean, people are gonna buy a bunch of them. Apple's gonna make. I always think that with like Christmas, where you're like, Apple just fucking, and Android too, like all of the phone places and all of that, but like Apple specifically because they have all of their own branded shit. It's just like they make so much money around Christmas time with everybody getting new phones, everybody getting all the accessories, everybody getting new laptops, everybody getting iPads and all of that, and it's just like, yeah, let's just throw out some headphones. Who gives a shit? People are gonna buy them. There's 77 different sized phones now. We have 400 different versions of headphones, 14 different MacBooks, and like 37 iPads. Go with it. Fuck it. Let's try it. And then people are like, yeah, I'm going to buy it.
See, like me and Alex are on the
Figured
complete
it out.
opposite end of the consumer spectrum here. Like, Alex is 100% the guy that all this is aimed at. Like, ooh, new toy. I want it. Oh, a new toy.
I'm dumb.
I like it.
I'm dumb.
And then I'm over here still rocking the iPhone 8 that I just upgraded to from my 6S. I went on, not even upgraded.
8. I wanted
just
to
found
have the 8.
But I mean, I just got this within the last year because I went online and purposely found an 8 because I was not going to get a new phone. And new phone or not a new phone would have been the iPhone 10. I purposely got an old one because I'm cheap and it still works just as good. But I'm also like, I don't want AirPods in any form or fashion. Like, the headphones would be cool, but I'm not paying $500. But the other ones, I've got small ears. 100% they're going to fall out. I need the corded ones.
Yeah,
Like,
see, I've heard that from
every
a lot of
time a
people
new
too.
toy comes out, or like the new iPads. Like, I think this iPad that I have literally has 16 gigs of storage.
Which,
Like,
okay,
they don't make phones with
mention
less
this
than
a lot.
64 now.
We don't mention this a bunch anymore. We have a couple of times, but you posted your pyramid picture after we recorded the podcast last week, and it just, Robert, I don't know if you chuckle every time you see it like I do, but Pat, like Robert and I both have computers up,
Yes.
Like that, like as we are recording this, we have our computers on Zoom. We are recording it, and Robert and I are also like recording other stuff in the background too. Pat doesn't have to, so like he has the option to not have to have a computer. But Pat is using a computer as like an iPad holder, as a
It's
stand.
a stand.
It is a computer that doesn't work that Pat just sets an iPad on. So it's like the iPad then becomes a screen that doesn't have a keyboard. And
For all you watching at home,
if you're watching the YouTube thing, like that's what
you can even see the
Pat's
reflection.
working with. And just you posted it last week, and I completely forgot that was like how you had your setup. And I was like, oh yeah, he does just have a broken computer. It's just like what holds up his iPad.
Yep.
Which is just like that's Pat. That's Pat for you. It's like he's like, I'm not gonna get another computer. I'll just use this. I'm still gonna use this.
This
just
isn't
to
even
prop up
mine.
my iPad.
This was like my brother's gambling buddy's old one that was broken, so he passed it down to my brother, and it got more broken. And like it's literally all this computer was ever used for was playing cards, and probably porn because dudes owned it.
Mostly
but
porn. Mostly porn.
no, mostly
Why
cards.
it was broken.
But it was a touch screen, and the screen got smashed. So like you'd be in the middle of something, and all of a sudden the screen would just start going, and like the cursor would move, and you'd have to Google how to turn off the touch screen. But every time you turned off the computer, brought it back up, the touch screen was re-enabled. This thing was a bitch. Fuck you, Lenovo.
So now it just has to watch other more successful things succeed.
This laptop
it's like a prison, really.
No, this laptop is Woody, and the iPad is Buzz Lightyear.
But like if Woody was just like ripped apart and had no arms, or like his face was smashed, like if Sid really got to go to town on Woody,
and then put him in his windowsill facing Andy's room. That's
Right.
what this laptop is.
So yeah, that was AirPods. That's how we got to that, huh? That was
Buzzing. We're buzzing today.
AirPods back. Another comeback kid. And Robert probably isn't anywhere near as excited as I am, but Shaggy, because it was him. Shaggy is back, and he has a Christmas album, and I haven't even listened to it, but I was just like, fucking Shaggy? What's Shaggy doing on the Today Show? And they were like, he's got the Christmas album. And then I also, Emma asked me when I got home, and I told her, I was like, yo, Shaggy's got, like, it's news to us. It's like, yo, Shaggy, did you see him? He's back. And she was like, which one is Shaggy? Is Shaggy the guy that sings, or is he the
That's him.
And I was like, I think he's that guy.
He's
But
the
also,
Jamaican
I thought like
sounding
Sean
guy.
Paul was that guy with him.
He's the one that has the dog.
It's a bop.
Scooby, that dog. That's who I keep thinking when I see Shaggy. I have no idea who Shaggy is, so I think
You never
He was
heard
the
it
one
wasn't
that
me?
sang. Yeah, caught me banging on the counter. Wasn't me.
I think I've heard it because you've played it on the podcast,
I
but
definitely have multiple times.
no, I don't know who that is.
I hope the entire Christmas album is. I was gonna say just like his songs changed up with Christmas lyrics, but I hope every song it wasn't me 13 times with different Christmas lyrics.
No,
Like one of them
the lyrics
instead
don't
of
change.
me, it's no. I want it to be like under the tree instead of it wasn't me, and like the whole song is just him
Under
saying
the
shit that
tree.
he's putting under the tree. No,
It wasn't
got me back
like
boxing up the presents under the tree.
it doesn't have anything
Like
changed
that.
on it. It's just got like sleigh bells in the background.
The sleigh bells ringing. It wasn't me.
Like, they don't change any words. It's just like he just like really like low budget just threw sleigh bells over the song he already had.
He just rearranges all the words from like Drummer Boy and everything all to fit the tune of It Wasn't Me. And he just changes every song. I feel
Shaggy's
like
back
there's
though, and
I
I'm
feel
all
like there
for
was
it.
another Shaggy song that we knew, but like I can't think of it.
Was it Temperature? Yumba dumba where you are, blah 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 blah. I got the right temperature.
Angel.
Oh yeah. Shorty, you're my angel. You're my darling angel. Shaggy's the shit, dude. Robert, I really
Shaggy
feel like
was
you
dope.
missed out on a lot. You really missed out on a lot. And this is a better Shaggy than the one from Scooby-Doo for sure.
Whoa. I mean, that Shaggy was pretty damn cool. Don't sell him short.
He's a stoner. You think doing weed is cool?
Kinda. You think Shaggy the singer isn't doing a marijuana from time to time?
He does a
out of
lot
your
of the
mind.
marijuanas. Hold on, let me see if I can find a clip of it real fast. Shaggy.
Of what? Angel? Or it wasn't me?
Oh, no. Of Christmas on the Islands is what it's called. Ooh, No Icy Christmas is. No. It's just
God damn
playing
it.
into my headphones. I don't think y'all could hear any of that.
Fucking nuts. No, can't hear any of it. But yeah,
Hold on.
Shaggy. I'm excited to have Shaggy back. You know what I kind of feel like?
Oh, shit. I'm my headphones just fucking unsynced with me. Hold on. Bear with me, guys.
I was gonna say he
This
can't
fucking
hear
always
this,
happens.
but we can talk. It's kind of reminds me of the comeback of like when Carlos Santana was suddenly back, and I was like,
There we go.
oh, it's been 20 years. Where Carlos Santana's back after 20 years. Well, you know what? Now Shaggy's coming back after 20 years.
Shaggy's
Slightly
back for
different.
sure.
Ooh, what if Rob Thomas was on one of these songs and he just followed the Carlos Santana
Dude.
model?
That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. So everybody, let's all go and listen to a little Shaggy Christmas in the Islands this week. You know, screenshot it, tag Shaggy, and then maybe we can get Shaggy to come on the pod. That'd be cool. That'd be a really good get.
That would be awesome.
Probably the best get we've got so far. Technically, Kato Kalin was a guest, so that's probably the biggest get.
I think Shaggy would beat it.
Oh, Robert DeLong was pretty big.
Yeah, Robert DeLong.
That's like probably the biggest guest.
I mean, you got me. That's
You
pretty.
got Pat, but you got Pat
big.
the co-host.
That was
You're the
huge.
biggest co-host.
I was a big get though. I was like Deion Sanders coming over in free agency. You know, it was a big get.
Big get.
Oh, I thought you meant like weight wise or size wise.
Everything's a fat joke to Robert.
Well, you were saying it like that. You're like,
you did
seem
like you were leaning that way.
Yeah.
You did seem like you were leaning towards
I
that.
probably my brain doesn't even like register it anymore. I'm just so self-deprecating.
What do we got next? Let's see. We got James Harden. He is kind of being a little bitch right now.
A little bit, but also Houston
being a
sports
little bit.
fans are being bitches too. It's
Explain.
so easy.
Explain.
So easy for everyone to forget. They're like,
Quickly, James Harden has not reported to Rockets camp. He has recently reported, but he's got to follow COVID protocols to be cleared and all of that. And then he can start practicing with the team. He's also asked for a trade multiple times now. And the way he's kind of done it is kind of put the Rockets in a weird position where they're like people are going to start not offering you as much because they realize like, well, your superstar wants out. You got to give us a deal. And I think that's what's hurting it. Pat, what were you saying? I'm sorry. For those who didn't understand the situation.
I'm not saying he's not being a bit of a bitch about it because he still does have 2 more years on his contract. He signed the contract. He is a little bit. But Houston sports fans are also being super bitchy about this. Like, this is the NBA. If players aren't happy, they leave. James, like, it's very easy for NBA.
Houston sports fans have never held on to stuff and not let it go for a long time.
Oh,
What
no,
are you talking
never.
about?
No, but like
there's nothing in 2017 that people get really salty about other people saying about them and then maybe held on to it a little too long. Nothing like none of that stuff's ever happened. I don't know what you're talking about with Houston sports fans.
But I'm just saying I feel like people don't forget what basketball was like in Houston before James Harden got here. Let me just give a little shock to your
when the
system.
game was pure. You mean before he just faked all those fouls?
Does anyone remember when Kevin Martin was our best player? Y'all remember Kevin Martin?
Shane
fucking Martin.
Battier
was actually a dog on defense, so
right,
he was a good player.
But you don't want to rely on Shane Battier being like one of your top guys.
No, but every year we finished between 13 and 16. Oh, I love Scola, but we were there. We were stuck in the middle every single year, and when you're in the middle, you're not
definition of a decent team.
You're just good enough to make the playoffs, or you're just bad enough to just lose the playoffs. To where you have like a very low probability of getting a high pick in the lottery. You get stuck with middle of the round picks, and you can't do anything. Like, very rarely, like, once every 20 years, you get a Kawhi Leonard with the 12th pick. Well, guess what? We were never picking 12. We were picking like 14
actually we passed
every
on Kawhi
fucking
Leonard,
year.
I believe.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We could have taken. We got Marcus Morris or Markeith, one of the two brothers.
Yeah, one of them.
We had him, Royce White, Jeremy Lamb.
Yeah,
were the three first-round picks we had, and then we flipped Jeremy Lamb and got James Harden. So it was like we won that game.
But we went from just a completely irrelevant franchise that was decent and middle of the road to the second best player this franchise has ever had. And that's not even an argument to be made. Like, it's Hakeem, and then it's James. James is the most like, people used to talk about Melo. Like, Melo's not the best player in the league, but he's the most prolific scorer in the league. That's what James has been. Agree. That's what James has been for the last 4 or 5 years. He's the most unstoppable offensive force in the league. Like, yeah, every so often he's going to have a bad game where he just goes cold. But more often than not, like, I think it's James has dropped 40 points on every team in the league, 50 points on like a third of the league.
Yeah.
And he's besides the Rockets, and he's dropped 60 points on like 5 different teams. Like, if you can call it
last year,
it was the system.
At one point he had 30 against every team that he played because you had to play him twice or whatever it was, and or maybe it was the previous season he had 30 against every team in the league.
Or 30 was not 40.
And he didn't win the MVP. Like, he didn't get MVP.
Like, he's been ridiculously good, and you have to understand his frustrations. We've tried to get a team around him. A couple times we were close with Chris Paul. If he doesn't get hurt, we probably win that year because we're probably able to knock off Golden State. And then the Cavs were just nothing that year. Yeah. The Cavs would have fucking gone down. And he's frustrated. He's put in 9 years now with the team. He's tried. We just completely blew up the coaching staff that he loved and the front office that he loved that allowed him to play the game he loves to play it, where he's the number. And so he's frustrated. I get him wanting to leave. Because he doesn't. Now we have brought in really good pieces to come around him.
Like, every time he's asked for anything, the team has been like, "Yeah, we got you. What do you want? What do you want us to bring in? Okay, let's get you something."
It's because it was Daryl Morey.
It was Daryl Morey. And I agree with you. I think Daryl Morey
which
will always be one of the most underrated GMs in any of the sports, of the fucking sports.
I don't think he's underrated. I think everyone knows how good he was. It just didn't work out because that's the NBA.
Well, because he hasn't won it yet. Until you win a championship. He literally got stuck in the worst time ever to be a GM, where you're like, oh, you're not like you were a super team that didn't have the super team winning. Like, where you had LeBron and Golden State for 4 years were just those two basically going to win it. Now you have LeBron and AD and all of that. And it was like the Rockets were always right there knocking on the door. And people are going to forget about that. But Daryl Morey fucking, I don't know if it's still an appropriate term, but it was a fantasy football term we always just use, trade rape. Daryl Morey led the league in trade rapes, where you're just like, you got that guy for him? The James Harden trade. Who the fuck Jeremy Lamb? Where is he?
I think it's because Bill O'Brien was the GM of the Oklahoma City Thunder at the time. But no, that one, it looks bad in retrospect, but it was actually a salary cap constraint.
They had to move James Harden or else he was going to be gone. But that's the problem.
Because they chose to keep Serge Ibaka. Because they had Durant and Westbrook. And they chose to keep the defensive force in Ibaka, and they couldn't keep 3 offensive guys, so they had to get him off the books. So you could only get so much in that situation when you're under salary cap restraints.
But
that's what's amazing. Oklahoma City,
he was going to get out anyways. He was going to be out anyways if you didn't do it. And now he's got 2 years left, so the Rockets can make it uncomfortable. I'm one of the fact that he's bitching that he wants out so much, and now teams are going to give you the offers. Le'Veon Bell, that motherfucker. If you got a Le'Veon Bell, it's not my responsibility.
No, fuck that.
To trade you. It's not my responsibility.
Trade him. Make him play. You got 2 years. Make him play this year.
You can hate it, dude. But then figure the fuck out, and I bet you're gonna like it because you got John fucking Wall with you.
Here's the thing: unless you get an offer that's so good, you have to get a
So
superstar in return.
that's the way it should be. And that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't sell low for James Harden.
Yeah, I honestly don't even want Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons at this point of his career is what he is going to be. If you can get Joel Embiid, which I don't know why they would do that, you take it.
Who was it? Was it
I
Evan
would take
Turner?
Embiid.
Evan Turner that was out of Ohio State back in
Yeah.
the day. Like Ben Simmons reminds me of Evan Turner, where when Evan Turner came out, I think he was a top draft, like a really high draft pick. No, they're different positions, but like he's got that hype about him. He has that hype about him.
Oh,
Where it was
in the
like,
terms of hype.
the hype.
I was going to say Evan Turner was a knockdown shooter.
Right, but like
shooter.
when Evan Turner came out of Ohio State, I felt like everybody was like, dude, this guy is gonna be a star in the league, and he was always like a serviceable guy. Now he was I don't know where he plays now, but I remember he was on Boston. He was like a bench guy. He was a solid bench guy.
Yeah.
He was like a hands bro. He was a guy who was like
they all thought he would.
You don't try
because he fit the league. He was a shooter.
Right, and it's like I understand that, but like that was what Ben Simmons was. Like, dude, the guy passes all the time. He's a selfless player, selfless. And
let's just trade Harden for Zion straight up. Let's just do that.
Try that.
No, but we've actually put a good team. Like Silas has come in, and I can't remember the GM's name. The GM's done a good job of making. Like Christian Wood is a good offensive center that can play defense too.
And his last name is Wood.
John Wall is a pass-first point guard, so he's not like he's going to dominate the ball away from James Harden when James needs to have it in his hands. Like if we can just get him, that's what I'm saying. Unless we get a blockbuster deal, just go. Sorry, James, you've got 2 years left on your contract, bud. You're here. If you can get one of the other teams that you want to move to, trade us one of the pieces that you want to move to that team to play with, then yes, we will make the trade. But it makes no sense. Like, unless you want to give us 17 first-round picks.
There's a lot of teams that do that, though, now, and that's what makes me mad. Where it's like, dude, don't be held hostage by a guy you have on contract more than a couple of years. And I understand, he has the right to go play for a championship. He does. As soon as his contract is up and he's honored that, he has the right to go do that, or whenever the team trades him. And also, James doesn't have a no-trade clause or the option to veto a trade. Like, if you're going to be a dick, I'm going to send you to fucking Sacramento.
It'd be funny.
I will fucking remember not Colby Rasmus. Yeah, it was Colby Rasmus when the Cardinals were the year they won their last World Series. La Russa was the manager, and Rasmus's dad was kind of being a dick. And I remember like his dad was getting involved, and he didn't like it. So then like Rasmus was bitching about La Russa not being a great manager or whatever it was, and he shipped him to fucking Toronto. And he's like, all right, cool. We're a World Series quality team. But we go fucking have fun in Canada, motherfucker. I'll see you later. And then he came and he played on the Astros and everybody liked him. But, like, he was kind of a little bitch in the beginning of his career. And that was like an alpha move that La Russa did where he's like, we're just going to send you to Canada, bitch. Like, I hope you like baseball there. I hope you like it when it's cold all the fucking time.
If we do trade him, what I think would be hilarious is if we trade – no. No, you trade him to the Phoenix Suns for Devin Booker so that he gets reunited with Chris Paul, who he ran out of town because Chris Paul pushed him too fucking hard and would get on his ass. If we shipped him right there just to piss off James Harden,
what if you trade him for Chris
hilarious. No, God, no! Don't
just bring Chris Paul back.
The Suns actually will be a fun team to watch next year.
Have like a three-way trade with Washington, Washington, whoever Dwight Howard's on, and the Suns, and then just bring all of the old Rockets that we tried to pair back. And like be like, all right, we're gonna take James out of the equation. All the old guys we thought we were gonna have pair with him. Maybe you guys can work together.
That would be funny, but no.
But also not great.
Also, I preface all this by saying most of everything I'm saying right now I've learned from following this one dude on Twitter because I'm not actually that big into basketball. I care because it's Houston.
I was about to say, this is the longest basketball segment I think we've ever had.
But it's basically all
Robert
for my buddy.
Is so bored.
My buddy Roosh. Roosh knows what he's talking about, and yeah.
All right, so that's our basketball. That's talking basketball. Talking basketball, all right? And then
Rockets fans, just shut up and keep them here.
Last comeback kid we got this week is the NFC Beast. The NFC Beast is back. A lot of the haters, I don't want to name names, a lot of the haters were saying, NFC East, worst division of football, whatever. And, maybe it still statistically is. But last week, the NFC East, everybody said was going 0-4. And the Packers, fuck the Eagles. The Cowboys, fuck the Cowboys. I hate those two teams. I don't like the Washington football team. but I don't have the hatred that I have for the Eagles and the Cowboys. And
It's hard to hate someone who's always bad.
traditionally they have.
That's
My
what it
dad's
is.
also kind of a Washington fan, so like I always had like a little bit of a soft spot where I'm like, okay, if y'all guys, if we don't win it, I would rather Washington win it than Philadelphia or Dallas. And that was always like my perspective on it.
Also,
And now,
because Philly and
looking-
Dallas fans are the worst.
Amen.
The
1 and 2 worst in football. But anybody that's listening that's a fan of both of either of those teams, we love you for listening to the podcast. But just your team,
But you know
worst.
your fan base. You
Like
know
your
your
fandom
fan base.
Is the worst. We love you for listening because you make great decisions. Besides your football team, that's what we're saying right there. Okay, just getting out of the way. I know we have a couple of Eagles fans and quite a few Cowboys
love
fans
you.
that listen to the podcast.
You
But
may
your
not
team
be
is
that way,
shit.
but you know your fan base.
NFC Beast is back though. The Giants beat the Seahawks, and the fucking Washington football team ended the Steelers' undefeated season. But like more importantly, like the Steelers were like they were gonna lose at some point anyways, right? Everybody knew that. The Giants, oh, Russell Wilson, maybe an MVP candidate. I don't know.
Not
Giants
anymore.
defense looked pretty good. It was so funny. Like that was the highest I've ever been on the Giants since the highest I felt after a win in 5 years. I've topped that a couple of times this year. But just the fact that okay, I thought we could beat the Eagles the last time we beat the Eagles. Thought we could beat Washington when we beat Washington. You know, I thought we could win a couple of these games we've won. Did not expect to win against Seattle. And then just being like, we're still kind of in this game.
I mean, bro.
And then the fact that they were leading at one point, they were up by 2 scores at one point, and I was like, I mean,
especially with
they're
here's
in it.
what I thought about. Like, I've known for a little bit, and it's starting to come around that your defense is real. Like, you've got a legitimate defense.
People forget.
But
Defense
the fact
wins
that
championships.
your backup quarterback was in Colt McCoy,
Colt
which
McCoy.
once again we've talked about this kind of thing before, an all-time quarterback name, an
Absolutely.
all-time quarterback.
Which is
name.
why you're like, why would we write him off? Because he's got a quarterback name. You don't write a quarterback name off.
No,
You always
but
got to look into that.
Everyone knows what he
Probably
is.
gonna fuck me up.
He's a solid backup. He's a
Threw
guy
for
that
100
won't.
yards exactly.
If he has to come in, your offense isn't completely fucked and off the rails. It's because he's a veteran, so he can read defenses a little bit, and it's not like you have to play your practice squad wide receiver at quarterback.
And he's
Like, at least you got a guy. But oh my god, I was shocked.
Pat texted me. He was like, "What the fuck? How did y'all win?"
"Yeah."
Like that
'Cause
was Pat's text to me.
I
on
was
Sunday.
at work, so like I wasn't really paying close attention to the game. I think I had a different one on my iPad. That and
Yeah, the
then,
Giants
like,
weren't on TV. I was watching it on Sunday Ticket.
and I was just like, kind of fun. And every so often I'd check in on the score back. All right. I'm like, okay, why? I know they have a good defense, but why isn't DK Metcalf just torching them for my fantasy team?
Because James Bradbury fucked him up.
Bro, when did James Bradbury become like a top 3 cornerback in the
When he
league?
came to the New York Football Giants, and he
Like,
figured out how to play football.
Jesus Christ.
So my big thing, and this was gonna be a not cool, but then I was like, no, I just seemed bitter at that point. But the DK Metcalf, like, oh my god, he stiff armed him into the crust of the earth. This is insane. Like he stiff armed the fuck out of James Bradbury, but like that was a top play on like ESPN and shit. And James Bradbury made the tackle. It's like if you stiff arm a guy like Derrick Henry when he runs over a guy and keeps going. That's a different game to me than the guy that like yes, great stiff arm, but he also held on to you and wrapped up and brought you to the ground. So you didn't advance. You just shoved his head to the ground and then got your head pulled into the ground too. So it was like, yes, DK Metcalf, very strong. James Bradbury, also very strong because he didn't get murdered by that and still made the tackle and held DK Metcalf to 4 catches.
Yeah. All right. So not only did y'all win, the
Washington
Washington football
did.
team came out and beat the 11-0, now
Came
11-1
Came back.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers, as they say.
Steelers.
As they say up in Pittsburgh.
That was another one. I was at work last night, and I'm kind of following the game. It's on the TV in the room. And I just keep looking back. I'm like, all right, Steelers are up 17-10 or whatever it was. And I was like, all right, they're going to cruise. And I see it was like, they tied it up. I was like, all right, they'll score. Oh, Washington's in the lead? All right, well, Steelers will come back. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then Pittsburgh gets the ball back. and I'm doing something, so I look away, and then I turn back, and Washington has the ball again. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Big Ben threw a pick. And I was like, yeah, this is why everyone's been saying for weeks that the Steelers are maybe the worst. Worst is a subjective term because not bad, but 11-0 team of all time.
Because they were 11-0, but everybody thought the Chiefs are still better than them, which I think the Chiefs are.
Well,
better
also, if you look back at who they played, the Steelers' schedule has not been tough. It's been a pretty soft schedule.
I mean, they played the Giants before they were hot.
Yeah.
Which game changer right there. I mean,
Game changer.
Really, like my big thing is like all I've been preparing on this week is just like who do you think is gonna like how big of a favorite do you think the Chiefs are going to be against the Giants in the Super Bowl this year?
Well, I mean that's
like
not
7.5, 8.5.
It's a non-existent
because
question.
I was looking at it as I was with my friend Mike Fish. We do the Claret and Big Blue podcast. It's a Giants West Ham podcast. We were breaking down possible playoff situations we got. And I was saying, we were looking, and it looks like Seattle or Tampa Bay may be who the Giants would play if they have the 4 seed. When they win the NFC East, inevitably, obviously, knock on wood. But Tampa Bay, Giants beat in 2007 before they went on their Super Bowl run. That was their first round win. You know who they beat in the NFC Championship that year? The Packers.
Yeah, that ain't. I was just going to say,
if you think about it, we could have a very similar road. But I already said to you a couple weeks ago, I don't think you want to play the Giants playoffs.
I mean, I would rather play the Giants than most other teams that we would face.
Yeah, that's what Seattle would have said last week.
I wouldn't feel easy playing you guys, but I feel better about playing you than I would Seattle.
Honestly, that's all I wanted is just not we would stomp you because just like it used to be that. And that's what I felt like. I felt like we were just getting spat on by every other fan base. And now it's like, hey, Giants, Kyle, I told y'all, they've been frisky. They've been frisky. Joe Judge, the man.
I'm very happy with the Giants, and I'm unhappy with Washington. I'm very happy you guys pulled off this upset because now you still maintain the lead in the NFC Beast over Washington, and I have a futures bet on you to win the NFC Beast.
And not to just add salt to everything else I've already done this year, but I don't want to brag either. Things I have cursed in 2020, okay? The Houston Astros, when people were mean to me about the Yankees, they didn't win. They did not win the next series after that.
I'm still upset with you.
I also cursed the Dallas Cowboys prior to the season. Dak Prescott obviously went down. Cowboys have been trash. The Eagles beat the Giants. Eagles beat the Giants the first time this year, and I was very upset, and I cursed the Eagles. What happened after that?
Eagles.
They fell apart. Kyler Murray, we know how that's gone. He's a Hail Murray away from being 0-5 in his last 5. The Alex curse is a real thing, and right now I am cursing the Washington football team. So fuck the Washington football team. I'm cursing them. You will not win the division. Give it to the Giants. I've cursed every other team in the NFC East besides the Giants. The curse has been placed. Voodoo curse right here. I got my voodoo skeletons with me. Voodoo curse placed. Shout out Giants. You're gonna win the NFC East now. Just did it. And also, do you fucking think Kyler Murray is gonna beat my team? Me and Kyler with all this beef? It's basically me versus Kyler.
That's next week.
I know,
right?
I'm not stepping on. No, it's Sunday.
Oh, that's what I meant. This next coming NFL Sunday is what I meant. So this week. Yeah.
Yes. And Kyler Murray's gonna try and play the Giants. And hey, buddy, fuck you. Fuck you for being a dick to me that 1/2 of a second that I was near you. But Daniel Jones might be back. Kyler Murray, the curse is going to keep going, and hopefully the Giants keep winning. Moving on, though, I don't want to just –
If you truly felt that way, and we're not there yet, if you truly felt that way, you would have picked that game.
I've put a lot of cards, a lot of eggs in baskets, and I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
Okay.
Partially because you know how I feel
I ride with my team every week, but
you're a different kind of ride with your team guy, where I'm just like, I don't want to jinx it. If I did this, if I bet the Giants, then the Giants
because I trusted my team being good. Okay.
I tease the Giants every single week, and I believe I'm 3-0 in the last 3. So
I'll do that too, but we'll get there. We got a good amount of gambling talk to get to this week.
Let's get there. Actually, that was our final comeback kid. The NFC
not yet. We got one more segment.
Right. Yeah, we got one more segment before that. We'll get there in a second here.
Hold your horses, buddy.
Because right now we got the What Would Jesus Do segment. A lot of times, you guys, we had those bracelets when I was growing up, the WWJD bracelets, and it was always like, what would Jesus do? Like, but nobody ever told you what he would do in the situations. You just had to look at your bracelet and be like, I don't know, what would he do? So we're going to give you the actual answers of what Jesus would do. Throw Jesus in a situation in like today's time in 2020. Give us a scenario he may find himself in. Use the hashtag PTGWWJD to @PassTheGravyPod on Twitter. That's how we find them. And we're going to do this segment until you guys stop sending them in. Shout out Josh Tree for pretty much carrying the team whenever we've been down on these. But I continue to ask you guys, send some more in. And we got the Christmas Spooktacular coming up soon. We want to have the good WWJDs for that. So send us in a ton of WWJDs so we can make sure we have a good one for the Spooktacular. This week's WWJD, before we get to it, I guess it's brought to you by our good buddy Jingle Blake Wonder, who made us this fantastic little jingle.
Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus, what would Jesus do? Put him in a situation in a matter of time. If you wrote this jingle, do you think he'd make it rhyme? So think about this crazy world in which we live today, and how would Jesus handle it in any given way?
I love that jingle.
I love it so much.
It's also very exciting for all of us here personally, again, as we're saying, because Robert has this new system where we can hear the stuff live as we're doing this. So while you're hearing it, I did not put it in post like I did in previous podcasts. Pat and I can dance now while we hear it again. And we used to do that. It's good dancing with you again, Pat. I never thought I'd say that.
I'm happy.
All right, here we go. This week's What Would Jesus Do comes to us from our good buddy and Pass the Gravies MVP, Todd Voss, @as_seen_by_TV.
Real
Todd
quick before you
says-
read the question. Didn't he do Fresh Out of Bed today? How'd he do?
He's a winner. Winner, chicken dinner.
Attaboy, Todd.
Boy, Todd, bring it home.
It's too
Him
early
and Tim.
for me to wake
Him
up.
and Tim in the final. That's who I want in the final of the Rod Ryan show. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go listen to Rod Ryan Morning Show.
All right. So let's get to it. Sorry for the interruption. I just had to know about my buddy.
Todd says, where would JC park at the mall? Would he take the closest spot to where he's entering, the first available spot he could find, or would he take the furthest spot and walk all the way? Initially,
I'm gonna
I would have said
say-
he'd park in the closest lake to really save time, just because he'd walk across that water.
Just because he can walk
If there's
doesn't
a
mean his
fountain,
car
he
can.
would park in the fountain.
No, I think he'd park far because, and this is unsubstantiated by anything in the Bible, but I believe Jesus could maybe not fly, but at least float. You know what I'm saying? To where like, okay, Robert, you'll know exactly. You know when Magneto just kind of like raises his arms and like starts floating across like fields and shit? I feel like Jesus could fly just like that. To where like he just raises his hands like, oh, I am Jesus. And like maybe hover up to like 10, 15 feet off the ground and then just kind of float over to the entrance of the mall and gently back down. So like he doesn't have to walk from the back. He doesn't have to take a good parking spot, but it's just nice and easy to park in the back and then just hover himself to the front door. I don't know why I believe Jesus can do this. Maybe it's because he's Jesus and he can do all things through himself.
That is true.
But, yeah, so I think it would be easy for him to park in the back because he doesn't have to walk in 115-degree heat on asphalt in Texas summers or wherever he may be. But he can just hover nicely through the breeze.
You know, fun story. One time I parked in the very back of like the mall parking lot. And as I was walking, you could see my footsteps. But at one point, like you could see another set of footsteps walking next to me. And by the time I got into the mall, there was just one set of footsteps. And I was like, wait, why did it go from two sets of footsteps to one? And somebody told me that's because Jesus was carrying you the rest of the way. Because
And you were like, yeah,
Jesus
but
can
like I
carry
saw my
us
feet.
throughout life. Yeah, and I
So
was like,
I-
I mean, I could have just walked.
So I think he actually takes the closest spot.
Wow.
I think he takes the
bold.
closest spot as he can because he's walked all his life. He's tired of walking. He's super old now, so maybe he's not, as quick as he
Dude,
once
he's
was.
Jesus. He doesn't age.
He's so old now. And so he
Moses
just
built a
doesn't wanna
fucking
walk.
ark at like 8,000 years old.
He just doesn't want to walk anymore.
Hold on, I hate to break this. Jesus is dead, so if he comes back, he's going to come back at 33 when he died.
Forever. He's vampire age.
No, he didn't become a vampire. See, now we're mixing things up.
Is
I didn't
Jesus
say
a vampire?
that was Alex. I did not say that. But also, Robert, you
We
got to
can't
remember,
rule it out though.
this is put Jesus in modern
like blood.
times. This is just taking Jesus and putting him in the modern time. This isn't what if Jesus was still alive from his original life in modern times. We're not talking about if Jesus was 2,053 years old.
I still think
cryogenically frozen.
he goes to the closest spot because he's walking barefoot. He doesn't want to walk barefoot.
No, he's got sandals now, dude.
In the
He's
heat,
got sandals.
in the heat,
Bro,
or
as somebody that was Jesus for Halloween, I wore sandals.
and he wants to
sandals.
preserve
Jesus
them.
had sandals.
If he has to walk in the back from the back all the time, they're gonna wear out, and it's gonna be the same problem.
Had
I
sandals,
am adamant that he is.
He's the
parking
son
as
of God.
close
You don't
as-
think he's got
close
some
as
heavy duty
possible as he
sandals?
can.
You're
Close as
assuming that
possible.
Jesus in modern times does not have access to modern footwear, but has access to a modern vehicle. Is
It's
that
a
what
chariot.
you're assuming?
It's a chariot.
I park my horse.
He just takes public transportation or something. I don't know.
That's not the question.
And the
What if
shuttle,
God was one
the
of us,
shuttle,
just a stranger on the bus? That is,
You're
kind of
answering.
fits.
You're answering a different question. It's where would he park if he was parking at a parking lot? He took the bus.
Does he just ask the shuttle to drop him off at the back or the front? He asked him to drop him off at the front. There you go.
I think Jesus would park by whatever the biggest department store is. He seems like that guy.
Oh no, he would park. He would probably park during the emptiest spot of them all, like that one corner where there's the store that nobody really goes to, so it thins out right there. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take this spot. I'm going to be walking around for a while." No, I say he just parks in the back and he hovers. Jesus can hover. I firmly believe.
He hovers.
I don't think he so much walked on water as he made it look like that as he was hovering.
Wow.
And he just kept putting his feet down.
He's calling Jesus a fraud. Pat calls Jesus a fraud.
No, no, not a fraud. It's just that his
at the
powers.
beginning of the podcast. You're like, Pat calls Jesus a fraud. What do we think?
His powers were misinterpreted, I think is what it was. Nobody could walk on water. There's mass, buoyancy. Or do you think Jesus was a witch and that's why he floated on top of water? Is that what you're saying?
You are throwing away.
Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
I'm not. Coach Gordon Bombay walked on water.
No, he walked on ice.
Well, it was frozen water.
Yeah, but it's ice. My fat ass can walk on ice.
Exactly.
Doesn't make me Jesus.
I think the real question that I got from this is Jesus a reverse vampire?
What?
He wants everybody to drink his blood.
Maybe he's just
his
kinky.
Body. He's a reverse cannibal and a reverse vampire.
Jesus wants everyone to put him in his.
This is my body.
Jesus wants everyone
Whoa, dude! No! You don't have to cut yourself, man. No! We like you. You're our friend, man. Just sit down. Eat. No. He just keeps cutting himself. He just stop it, Jesus. Stop it.
He just wants everyone to put him in their mouth. We did such a good job of being respectful and not pissing off Christians until the last 20 seconds of that segment.
And I think that if you're a good sport of Pass the Gravy, you've listened for long enough, you probably understand how we handle these.
So
which isn't
this is one of the few ones where we have three different answers. I say he hovers. Robert says he takes the bus, and Alex says he parks near the most crowded department spot.
Macy's, whatever that we were talking about last week, whatever that fucking weird department store that you're like, how is it not closed yet? This is still a thing. Like that's where they park.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah. Burlington Coat Factories in the mall still?
I thought Mervin's closed 10 years ago.
Nope, we only have this one, and it's in the mall, Sonny. I know Katie Mills has a Bass Pro Shop. That was always a fun one to park by. Because then you're like, I'm walking through the forest, basically. Because they have, in the Katie Mills Mall, they have this big-ass, fish tank.
Yeah.
Like a legit fish tank where it's gallons and gallons and gallons, and they have giant fish in them, so.
I don't walk through there because I'm afraid I'm going to buy shit. Last time I walked through, I almost.
I'm not.
Well, neither do I.
So,
me either. But last time I walked through, they would
pass.
I guarantee you would have bought what I stopped myself from buying. They had a plug into your TV version of Duck Hunter.
I probably would have bought that.
100% you would have bought that. It was
Actually,
like $40.
you know what? Jesus would 100% walk into the Bass Pro Shop entrance because there's fish to feed 5,000 people with. There's lots
And
of
he
ways.
was
Like he could walk on water, so you could walk above the fish. You could kind of.
he was an outdoorsman.
Jesus would go to the Bass Pro Shop entrance if that's an option.
Yes.
If not, he would just go to the biggest like department store.
But
we figured it out. We got there. It was a slow build.
He would park in the back. He would park in the back of the Bass Pro entrance.
He'd park in the back, and also Jesus would always put his cart back. Jesus would always, this isn't not cool, but I had a nice little encounter this weekend. So there's a guy that I saw him. I was pulling into a spot, and he left it. He was in the spot adjacent to it on the other side, and he just pushed his cart into mine. And I was like, okay. And so I turned my car off, got out really fast, and then pulled the cart like I was taking it with me and just pushed it behind his car, and he backed into it. And he got out. He's like, "Did you just put that cart by me?" And I was like, "Oh, was that your cart?" And it was 2 spots over from the little cart right there. And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Sometimes that wind really gets it. Sometimes." He's like, "Did you just put it there?" And I was like, "If you just it was 2 spots over. If you just put it there, then you don't have to worry about backing into it." And now people couldn't park in that spot. So I mean, dude, I'm just saying, it was just right there, And there were people, and he was ready to cause a scene. It felt like. But there were people that were staring at him. There were people walking to cars, and I was just as calm, the most un-Alex way to handle it ever. Where I was like, no, just if you just put it back in that thing, then it doesn't.
Oh yeah, you don't
have that for it. And he was like, and he was ready to cause a scene, but he was like, everybody's looking at me, and I'm the asshole at this point. And I was like, just don't back into it.
Yeah,
you have a backup cam, dude.
Oh,
you got a backup cam. Look at it.
You don't like when people put parking or put shopping carts in in the parking spaces, in your way? Because you kind of just put that in the spot I was trying to park into, so I figured I'd return the favor.
But I said I was like, well, maybe that wind can really get it, and the look in his face where he's like, "You fucker," he knew what I was doing at a certain point, I think, and I was like, this guy is just.
Do you tell your kids to clean up their toys? Do you tell your kids to put their toys away when they're done? Yeah, put away your fucking shopping cart. It's 2 spots away.
Be a fucking adult. But
Did he end up putting it away?
No.
He probably pushed
but he backed
right
into
behind
it,
somebody
so
else's
he got his justice, and that was how I win.
I can neither confirm nor deny whether or not it was put there by me, but there's a cart spot 2 parking spots away that you can go ahead and put it in if you don't want it to somehow magically end up behind your car.
Well, that was honestly my most surprising bit. Was usually I would have just owned up to it, and I was just like, obviously I did it.
You never know
other way around it. He knew where he left it, and that it was facing the other way. But just the fact that I got there that fast, I would the second he said it there and was walking around, I was like, dude, pushed the cart around, and then he backed up and just, and did you just? He was so mad, and he was so ready to yell, and then that was where I was like, Alex, no, make him the asshole. And I did. And then I didn't play victim. I was like, oh, no, that's crazy. I was just shocked that it also happened, and his face was just, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. I know what you did. And I was like, oh, it's not my fault.
If you would park next to the shopping cart, put away thing, you would not be led into temptation. This is why Jesus parks in the back of the parking lot next to the farthest cart return corral.
Actually, this past Friday, my buddy,
Amen.
my new buddy, Jason, Fire Station 11. I got that now in the studio behind me. Fire Station 11 on TC Jester. He was saying that he told his wife, because I went on a rant on the Rod Ryan show about how you have to put the carts back.
Yes, you did.
And,
of course
and
you did.
He was like, you know what? I remember telling her, no, we're gonna put carts back from now on. And I was like, Jason, you're a good egg. You're a good egg. Not only are you a firefighter saving lives, you're also a good egg because you put your shopping cart back.
I'm happy that you have changed, but saying from now on implies that he didn't do it before.
But all I do is I don't want to compare myself. But I feel like I speak the gospel of putting the carts back. I speak the gospel of I'm the mercenary or a missionary for going out there and saying, hey, let's put our carts back.
You're kind of a mercenary. But you are the change that you want to see in the world.
mercenary.
You are the change that you want to see in the world, and I respect that about you, sir. There's
Just-
not
that was-
much I
just felt like
respect
should
about
share
you,
that.
but I
It
respect
was one of
that
those
about
things.
you.
I didn't feel like tweeting about it because I didn't want to brag. But like now that it kind of sort of came up and like we were a parking lot situation, I was just kind of like, yeah, fuck that guy. And
You could have videoed it real quick and made a fleet. Like, look at this jackass fleet.
I've been trying to fleet. a little bit. I fleeted my not cool this week, actually. If you want, just a little spoiler alert. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, I think Jesus would park. He'd go Bass Pro Shop. He'd park further away, and then Bass Pro Shop or the biggest department store he could get into. Robert?
No, he's parking as close as he can.
Is he parking in a handicap?
Oh, wait.
Because he's got
got
holes in his feet.
So you're off the bus? Now he's parking again?
I'm going with the question. I'm saying he's parking as close as he can.
What if God was one of us?
You're the one who's saying he floats, but somehow he's in a car. Why don't you just float to the store?
Because he cannot fly, but he can hover and float. There's not a lot of speed in hovering and floating. The car will get you there, but you park in the back and then you don't have to walk. You just kind of hover through the air, so there's a nice breeze on you too. You're not right on the concrete where the heat's reverberating right up into your face. Plus then, people see it's Jesus and they come towards him and he gives them the good word.
If you could have if your superpower that you were given was that you could like hover and move and like float and stuff, but you could only move like a quarter
5
of
miles
the
an hour
speed that you move now walking. You get like whatever,
No.
like the faster you can walk, you can only do a quarter of that. You would just say no? Because I think I would too.
Oh, I mean, if it's that or nothing, I'd take it. Like if I could still hover.
Or you could just like not have a superhero power or whatever.
Bro,
Like, that's shitty
think
power.
of it. It would never come in handy except for the one time that like a little kid loses their balloon and it's high up on a ceiling and you're like, I got this. And you just hover to like the gymnasium ceiling and get the balloon back.
But you could also only hover like 5 inches off the ground.
Still, it's something.
I remember I was in it was a web design class or some shit like that. Obviously, I'm not very good at it. Shout out Cypress Web Designs for working on our website for us. But we had one of our things, we had to make a website for a superhero that we created, and it was us. And like everybody had like, I can fly, I can do this. And me and my friend, we're gonna pick the dumbest superpowers we can think of. And my superpower was that I could grow razor sharp facial hair.
Yeah, that's really dumb because anytime you look down at your feet,
Absolutely.
you're gonna
But
cut
I
yourself
remember
in the
because she
chest.
like my teacher was like, but like, what if like they get you the time? I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm out of luck then. I got one thing.
You don't choose your superpowers. You're born with them. You got to live with it. So you
razor
shave,
sharp facial hair.
you shave underneath the chin, but keep the like sideburns really big. You grow mutton chops. That's what you do if you have that superpower.
I just remember my
chops.
teacher having like me stay after class to like just roast me about how shitty of a fucking superpower that was. Like, I mean, I made a website. What do you want me to do? Grade it.
If they're razor sharp, do they just cut themselves?
You would think. Really, you just rip one out and you can shave the rest of your face.
Ooh,
Yeah.
when you go to comb it, they would
It
cut
saves a lot of money.
themselves. Because as you comb it, you're pushing one into the other. But if they're all razor sharp, which razor cuts the other razor?
The better superpower I should have done that I feel like she would have just gotten more mad about would have just been like to grow out your facial hair really fast. But like it's not sharp or anything. It's just facial hair. if I need a disguise real quick, beard.
My superpower is that
What
I
is
never...
that good for? I don't know. They're not all winners. That would be a funny like, I'm sure that somebody's already done that. Like a superhero school. But like you have like the X-Men in it, and they have all their like real like Superman was like the like best student, and they always talk about like be like Superman. He was great. It's like all like the old football players when you go to high school. It's like, well, this guy back in the class of '92 was best linebacker in the district, and it's like Superman. He was amazing, unless he was playing against Kryptonite in our yearly rival event. That like, he was fantastic, and it's like, and what is your superpower? Like, well, I can grow my facial hair out. They're like, get the
If I have a bad beard trim, I can just redo it. My superpower is that
matter.
I never sneeze. Pepper does not fuck with me.
Like, how funny of a TV series would that be if it was just like all like the like shittier superpowers? Just like, you're not all winners. Not all of us can read minds or pull shit towards us.
It's called the D team. One guy's just like, dude, I can cut as many onions as I want, never cry.
It's like, and not in a mean way at all. It's like the special ed of like superhero powers, where it's like you have a superpower, you're able-bodied, you're capable, but like your just superpower kind of fucking sucks.
You're no different. You're no different than a normal human being, except that when you stub your toe, it doesn't hurt.
We call him Steel Toe.
So far we've got steel toe, we've got tear duct, and
Tear
then
duct, which I can just cry on command.
No, that was the guy that doesn't cry when he cuts onions.
Oh, he does. But then you can also have tear duct too.
Well, no, he can
who
control
does cry on
no,
command.
I like yours. He can control his tear duct, so he either cries on command or doesn't cry when he's cutting onions. And then what was the first one that I said? What was that first?
His
terrible
thumb.
You don't
He can
sneeze.
hammer.
Oh, you don't sneeze.
You have pepper. Pepper doesn't affect you.
We call him sneeze guard.
Sneeze guard. Pepper spray also has no effect on him though, so that's a bonus. Then you have a guy whose only superpower is like when he's hammering stuff. If he accidentally hits his thumb with a hammer, it doesn't hurt.
Okay,
It's
at
like,
least two.
It's like the toe guy, but like just.
I was gonna say at least
the
two of the
hammer.
guys we've mentioned now just have no sense of touch. Like they don't
But
have
only in
their
his thumb.
sixth sense. Everywhere else is fine. Well, I think he probably just has frostbite on his thumb, so he can't feel anything like Adam Sandler's foot in Big Daddy.
Or Mr. Deeds.
Or Mr. Dean, sorry, not Big Daddy. And Mr.
Right. All right. Okay, we've hung on this topic too long, I feel like, but you know what? Like, also
Guys,
verbal trademark on that
please.
sitcom that we're writing about the
Send us-
underappreciated superheroes.
I know we say this from time to time. Please send us in your useless superheroes and their terrible powers.
Hashtag PTG useless superhero. And then
'Cause
just
we-
give us the name
can't-
and like what their shitty talent is.
We can't say on this, but I really want to sit here for 15 to 20 more minutes and just think of bad superheroes, but we need to move on. But that was fun.
Ooh,
That
here's
was a
one.
lot
Just
of
last
fun.
one. The superhero's name is Honor Roll, and he's just an outstanding young man. That's all. He's got good
Wah,
grades.
wah.
That's it. But like that's his superpower.
No, that's if you want one that's
I
actually
don't have to
used
study for
superpower,
tests.
we got to end on a good one. This was actually the first one that popped in my head. Is a guy that farts so hard that he can actually like pop himself like 5 feet in the air if he's sitting down. I don't know what we call that.
It really doesn't help at all.
Oh, airbag. You've seen those videos of people who have airbags
Yeah,
underneath them?
airbag's a good one.
Yeah,
Airbag's
airbag.
a good one.
There we go. That's the last one.
We call him Whoopi. Like a whoopee cushion. Nailed it. All right.
The Kush.
The Kush. Never underestimate the power of the Kush. All right, moving on. Let's get to some ads. We gotta read an ad for you guys, but this is our favorite ad to read. It's Southern Star Brewing Company, guys. The best beer in the entire world. I am crushing a Korova milkshake IPA.
Delicious.
One of my favorites. If you're an IPA guy or gal, it's IPA season at Southern Star. Pat's drinking the Lil Cal low calorie IPA, and the Pastor Gravies 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular going down 10 days from now as we record this. December 19th on a Saturday.
Ooh.
As of right now, it'll be outside. It'll be outside. And you know what's going to be brand new in the tap room outside at the outside bar tap room thing? I don't know what the outside bar, right? So they call it
Outside bar.
outside bar, which is where we are as of right now going to be broadcasting from. And they have Fracker IPA will be on tap there. Their brand new IPA. Keith gave me and Pat a little sneak peek. I don't want to say it might be their best beer ever, but it might be their best beer ever.
I mean,
I don't want to
something.
say that, but I'm saying it. Okay, so there, I said it. All right.
It's freaking great.
I don't want to hype it up too much, but I did it, and I don't care. All right, it's fucking dope. Fracker IPA. You can be drinking that. You can be watching the 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular. We're bringing the Christmas movie bracket back. We have just while we're promoting the Spooktacular, it's at Southern Star, 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. Go on our Facebook page and RSVP now. Get there early. Get there early. Get there early. Get there early. I'm going to say it again. Get there early. Winston Cook, our very own good buddy, Winston Cook, who's already been on an episode of the podcast this year with the Southern Star gang. He will be opening things up at
Voice
noon.
of an angel.
He does. He's an absolute voice of an angel. He's a Southern Star favorite. He's awesome. He's going to be kicking things off at noon. Why would you not like? That's a fucking perfect Saturday right there.
Yeah.
Todd Voss is like, what about the Big 12 championship game? It'll be on. They'll have it on in the town.
We'll have it.
Don't worry, bro.
If you haven't been there in a while, the outdoor stage is amazing.
They fucking build a stage, guys. It's going to be – you're going to be like at a concert, but not at a concert. It'll be socially distanced. Everybody will be wearing masks when they're in the tap room inside. We'll be socially distanced outside. It's going to be a ton of fun. We have the Gravies Awards. We're going to do the Gravies Awards. We're going to give you the nominees here coming up in a bit. This is the Gravies Award trophy that I have. I have 7 of these bad boys. We're going to hand out at the Gravies Awards that we're going to be doing throughout the Spooktacular. Winston Cook goes on early. Then it's us at 1:30. After us, we got High Dive, I believe. Then closing the night out musically, Dizzy Moore. Some of you may know him as Ian from Hold on Hollywood. And then we got fucking Santa Claus to headline, which is like, why would you not want Santa Claus to headline? Fucking Santa! Santa Claus is going to be there. And like, this snuck up on me. We're 10 days away from it, and it doesn't feel like we're 10 days away from it. I know it's a pandemic and all this shit's been weird, but like, I am so excited to see some of the Gravy Gang. It'll be socially distanced and everything, but I'm excited to elbow high five you guys, do whatever. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be outside. We have all the nominees for the Gravies Awards coming up. It's gonna be, dare I say it, the best Christmas spooktacular ever? Dare I say it? Dare I say it? Who knows? Who knows?
I think you dare. I dare you to dare
I say it. Come on out there, 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. Get there like 11:30. 11:30, get warmed up, get ready for Winston, get your first beer flowing, and then Winston's going to go on at noon. He's going to play for about an hour or so. Then we're going to go on 1:30. Then we got High Dive, possible guest of the year. Possible guest of the year at the Gravies Awards this year because High Dive was also on the podcast. High Dive was up for a gravy, and then we got Dizzy Moore closing shit out, and then Santa Claus, non-musical guest to finish out and headline everything. It's going to be a great time. Southern Star Brewing Company, Saturday, December 19th, 10 days from now, not this Saturday, the following Saturday, 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe, 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. Southern Star Brewing Company, guys, the best beer in the entire world. There's something for everybody up there. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you're drinking a Southern Star, tag us, tag them, at Pass the Great Pod. They are Southern Star Brewing Co. and at Southern Star BC on Twitter and Instagram. Let them know that you support the people supporting us. Southern Star Brewing Company, the best beer in the entire world, the official podcast sponsor of Pass the Gravy podcast and our host of the 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular. Let's move along before we get to the not cool segment. We have our 2020 Gravies nominees. Pat, please give me a drum roll. Brrr. There we go. It's close enough. It's close enough. All right, everybody. We're going to start off with, we have 7 categories this year for the Gravies Award. If you're watching the YouTube version of the podcast, I'm holding a Gravies Award right now. The exact same Gravies Award. Like, somebody ruined the like bit that we were going to just give gold hand sanitizer away, and apparently gold hand sanitizer is really hard to come by, so we're just going
I
with the
think
old
we
trophies
ruined that bit.
we already had. But if you want to win a Gravies trophy, we figured next week we could tell you on the Wednesday episode, but since we're recording next Friday, we wanted to give you a full week in advance to prepare and make your arrangements to come. If you were nominated, we have 7 categories, the exact same 7 as last year, and we'll start off with our first list of nominees for podcast review of the year on iTunes. All right, gang? The podcast review of the year nominees are Josh Posados, JP Walker, Mel Belia. And then, so some of you guys don't have your like real names on it. If any of you have the screen names or whatever from the iTunes account, let me know and I will give you credit in the actual Spooktacular. But we have Mel Belia, Sexface68+1 on iTunes. We also have Richie Rich 23G on iTunes, which I'm pretty sure iTunes account names, but my favorite was Sexface68+1. So if either of those are you, let me know at Past Great Pod on Twitter and be like, I'm one of those on the iTunes thing. Let me know which one you are, and we will give you credit when we're reading out. But Josh Posados, JP Walker, Mel Belliet, Sexface68+1 on iTunes, and Richie Rich 23G on iTunes are our nominees for podcast review of the year. We also have a guest of the year. Now, this is a little different than decided by us. Like all the other ones are pretty much, we pick them out based on like your participation and all the other stuff, and like how, like what we think throughout the year of you guys, not like in a bad way, but in a good way. But a guest of the year, we're going to put, I think starting Sunday, we have 4, 5. Yeah, so starting Monday, we'll have a guest of the year poll on our Past the Great Pod on Twitter that you can go vote on. We have 16 guests from this year because remember we did the quarantine podcasts. So we have 16 guests. That means for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, I will have you can only have 4 people on your poll.
Count 18.
Shit.
We'll just
You
have
know
to do a
what?
couple
I'm gonna count
threes.
it down.
We'll have to
It's
do a
I'm
couple
gonna-
threes.
Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow it down to who has the most views or listens on their podcast. And I'll pick the top 16 of those. And that will be how we do this. But these are the nominees for the guest of the year. And basically, these are just the guests from this year. Patrick McClellan, Ian D'Artez of Hold on Hollywood, Dinah Powers, may she rest in peace, Tessa Barrera, Chili, Dusty Rhodes, Craig Lavati, Ivory Hecker, Adam Clanton, Matt Thomas, Cliff Hogg from Big Brother 21, Brant Tobler, Sal Kalani, High Dive, the band that will also be playing at our Spooktacular, Dave Forgeron and the Southern Star crew, Elijah Jones and Liz Marshall are our
So
nominees.
I think that's 17. Then I counted Dave Forgeron and the Southern Star Crew as 2 separate ones.
All right,
So it's 17 total.
Is this an executive decision? Is it a bad thing if we exclude Dave? We would be at Southern Star. Because that was like a lot of people. It was a lot of people.
I don't think he would be hurt by it.
And it's like, we don't mean it in a bad way. They were just like,
Well, just have to say sorry, but we needed the round
Dave,
number.
Winston, Angel, and everybody else that was up there too. So like, and I love the Southern Star people. We're gonna give them an award anyways, just because they're Southern Star. But that is our guest of the year nominees. Okay, our next nominees, and I will tell you if we have a reigning champion. We have 3 categories.
I still count 17 without them. I can't fucking count.
We'll figure it out. All right. Woman of the Year is our next category we're going to give nominees for. Our reigning Woman of the Year from 2019, Stephanie E. Bao.
Day Bao
is back up for a nomination. Can she go back to back? We'll find out December 19th. Stephanie E. Bao nominated again. Danielle Weston, a very strong candidate for Woman of the Year. Ashley with an I, Ashley Wilkins, Daphne Clark, Casey Main, and of course, Cassie J, the Squatch God. Ever so mysterious, but she is still a nominee for Woman of the Year. Then we got Man of the Year candidates. Joshua Tree Caudle, reigning Rookie of the Year last year. Can he get Man of the Year? Who knows? We got Brandon Whitehead, Brett Brandon, Fernando Ramon, Todd Voss, last year's MVP of the Gravies Awards. We got Raimundo Benavidez, Jingle Blake Wonder, and Matthew Jaramillo as our Man of the Year nominees. And we've also got our best answers questions asker. Danielle Weston won this spot last year. Remember our podcast son Skylar Lester won the best review. And we try to not give multiple awards out just because we like to spread it out amongst the Gravy Gangs. That's what they say. Best answers question asker. Danielle Weston trying to defend her title. She'll be going against our podcast son Skylar Lester, Josh Tree Cottle, Brett Brandon, and Brandon Whitehead. A very big, very coveted spot we're going to give nominees for right now. Rookie of the Year. Now, Josh Tree. Billy Branch is not a real person, all right? I love you, Josh.
Alter egos don't count.
We know it's you. It's the same Twitter account, all right? I appreciate you. We love you. You can't win Rookie of the Year in two consecutive years. Like, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense at all. So you're not eligible. Billy Branch is not eligible for Rookie of the Year. Who is Rookie of the Year eligible, and who our nominees for Rookie of the Year are Uziel Lara, David Ruiz, Ashley Wilkins, Daniel Ramos, Josh Posados, and Mario Del Aguila. We got as our nominees for Rookie of the Year.
That was the whitest pronunciation ever.
Robert, how do I say Aguila? Is it Aguila?
Aguila, maybe? Aguila?
I don't know. I hate, like, as a white, when you go to, like, a restaurant, I don't want to be like, can I have a tortilla? Like, I don't, like, I feel like that.
Arroz con pollo.
I feel like that's, like, more racist than, like, just, like, trying to pronounce it and not getting it right. Where I'm like, if I can have a tortilla, it's like, now I'm just trying to be weird with it.
Mario del Aguila. I don't know. That made me laugh.
I gotcha. I don't think Mario.
It's not. I don't think it's Aguila because
I don't think
it's just
any
one
of that
L.
shit's racist, anyways. But like, I just.
Sorry, I had to make fun of you for a second. That just made me laugh.
And with Ramos, like, if I can roll my R, I'm gonna roll my R because like Ramos, Fernando Ramon. All right, and we have our final category. We have nominees for the Pass the Gravy podcast MVP of 2020 category, the most sought after category and a lot of people are saying you can't win Rookie of the Year and MVP. So just FYI, if you're a nominee for Rookie of the Year, you're probably just a nominee for Rookie of the Year, unless it's for another category besides MVP. But Pass the Gravy podcast MVP of 2020 nominees, our defending, reigning MVP right now, and reigning Rod Ryan Show Fresh Out of Bed head-to-head champion MVP, Todd Voss. He is our first nominee. Our second nominee, reigning Rookie of the Year, Josh Tree Cottle, a.k.a. Billy Branch. He is finally up for an award, and you can win this one, my friend. You can win this one. Also up for the award, Danielle Weston. Very fucking dominant. Probably the most dominant woman, I would say, this year on Pass the Gravy podcast, in which she sent in the contributions she's made, the not cools she's sent in. She's right up there. Then we got Skylar Lester, our podcast son, also up for podcast MVP. And last but not least, Brett Brandon as our nominee for Pass the Gravy's MVP of the year. If you were nominated for any of those categories, it would be amazing if you'd show up to the Pass the Gravy Christmas Spooktacular. I understand if you do not. I will try and contact all of the winners ahead of time. Maybe no, I won't contact any winners ahead of time. I won't, except for the guests of the year, because like with Raheel, he couldn't make it and we had to have him record something. So last year that happened, but we're gonna figure it out, and this is gonna be a fun, like, pandemic Gravies award that we're gonna do. This is the third one we've done. Third?
I think so.
I think third one. So we're gonna keep it going. I appreciate everybody showing up. Before we get to our not cool segment, let me read to you guys a little bit about Alamo Remedy CBD, the best CBD in the entire world, and the sponsor of the Not Cool segment. Shout out, though, if you go to alomoremedy.com, alomoremedy.com, use our promo code PTG at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of your order. Here are some of you awesome Gravy Gang members that have used our promo code to get 10% off your order. Uziel Lara, David Tarian, Joe Vargas, Eric Rivera, Matthew Jaramillo. All of you guys have recently used promo code PTG at AlamoRemedy.com, and we appreciate you guys. They have all kinds of awesome things priced at just $17.99, like their CBD gummies, their CBD lotion, their tincture oil, their capsules. Pat's using the cucumber melon lotion right now. I actually had something with my back going on this weekend. I was using that, and it worked. It was great. By Monday, I felt fine. All of that stuff is at $17.99. It all contains 250 milligrams of CBD, which is up to almost 50% off of the national brands. They believe in their products, and they believe that you will love them as well. So that's why they're giving you such a great discount, 10% off. You use PTG as your code at AlamoRemedy.com. They also have their hemp flower that's $19.99. It looks like weed, kind of smells like weed, but it's not weed. Gives you that mellow, chilled out feeling where you won't be awkward in public, but you also won't be 100% stressed out. So it's a cool little chilled vibe. You can still study for your exams. You can still do all the other normal everyday activities without feeling weird or lightheaded. So check that out. That's $19.99, but you can get 10% off when you use our promo code PTG at AlamoRemedy.com. AlamoRemedy.com. Also, if you're getting anything on Alamo Remedy, let us know. Tag us on Twitter at PassTheGrayPod. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at Not Pat Dion. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. And Alamo Remedy is at Alamo Remedy and at Alamo Remedy CBD on Twitter and Instagram. AlamoRemedy.com. Use our promo code PTG for 10% off of your order and support the people supporting us at Alamo Remedy and at Alamo Remedy CBD on Twitter and Instagram. AlamoRemedy.com. Promo code PTG for 10% off of your order at AlamoRemedy.com. This, guys, is the not cool segment where we tell you guys something that's like it's not cool that's happened to us, whether it be a guy that didn't put their cart back, so you had to take justice in your own hand, whether you stubbed your toe on the bed getting up to go pee in the middle of the night, whether a guy sucker punched you when you were just walking down the street. All of those are not cools, and if it makes you say, hey man, that's not cool, that's what this is for. Hashtag PTG not cool at Pass the Great Pod. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at Not Pat Dion. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. This is the not cool segment.
Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Dude, that's not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool.
Let me start because I just want to get this out of the way.
All right, let's go.
I found out this morning. I wake up. I had gotten a text from my brother, my mom, and my sister came in the room to tell me because I was still asleep. We had like these two families that were really close with us growing up. We did everything together, and one of them, he was like my brother, the youngest one of one of the families. He passed last night. He was in a head-on collision. Just anytime you wake up to that news, it fucking sucks. Like I said, he was like family to me. We grew up together. He was 4 years younger, so he was like 26 years old.
Man, like fuck that shit, dude. Like I feel
awful.
like and again, like I talked about this a couple of weeks ago when Dinah passed away. It was like
it's the worst feeling.
I think you and I have both been in the same boat where we've been very lucky we haven't had to lose people close to us, and now we're getting to that age where people that are our age are occasionally passing away, and then just like fuck 2020. 2020 is kind of fucking sucked for everybody. And that's the worst way. That's the worst kind of thing. Somebody that's young, it's got such a promising life ahead of them that has something like that taken away from them. That is terrible, man.
Yeah, and I went and his brother had called me, but I was still asleep, so I didn't see it. And then I get the news. I roll over. I see he called me. I get my wits together. I went over and I sat with his mom, his two sisters. They had lost their dad when they were young too. Suddenly, he like just dropped in the yard while he was doing his mowing the yard. When my buddy was probably like 6, 8, something like that. So just them going through all this shit again. It's fucking awful. I went over there and it's the worst feeling in the world when you hug your friend and he just goes, I don't know what to do. It's fucking brutal.
That numb feeling.
Yeah.
There's nothing you
and you don't know what to tell him. And it just, so I miss you, Matt. We love you. Hope you're in a better place now, but yeah, I'll try and lighten it up now. I know that one brings it down, and I think this one will lighten it up just a little bit. My other not cool is the fucking Raiders. They pissed me off so goddamn bad last week. I'm gonna try and flip the switch.
Way to bounce back, buddy.
Just
Way to
flip
bounce
gears
back.
on it. So Alex said earlier we went 5-1 last week. It should have been 6-0. The Raiders did not fucking cover. Not only did
8
the Raiders
points against the Jets. Just
the Jets,
anything
the
close to
goddamn
double
Jets.
digits is a lot for me, and I've told you that.
But it's the goddamn Jets. They're the worst team
But they
in
were
the
so
last
due.
10 years.
They were so due.
But so are the Raiders. The Raiders just came off a bad game, and they always bounce back with Gruden. But this is what not only pisses me off. So I put in a parlay of all of our picks together with the spreads last week. It's $5. I plug it in. If all of them hit, it's like $250. And this is when I had the Raiders at -9. And I see it, and I plug it in, and I go. Sunday morning, I wake up, and I see that the Raiders are now only -7.5. And I go, well, I'm going to plug in the whole thing again. Because if they win by 8, I'm going to be pissed if this doesn't hit. So I plug it in. My dumb Neanderthal fucking brain doesn't go, well, you know what? Why don't you just always also throw in another one? Because that one, once I plugged that in, it was like $5 to win, like 245. My dumb Neanderthal brain doesn't go, well, and also because it's a 16 parlay, I should have also just taken the Jets in it. But it never even crossed my mind because the Jets are so fucking bad. Of course,
Right.
they're
No,
going
and
to
I
lose by
get
a shit
that.
ton
It blinds
to the
you a
Raiders,
little bit.
who are a good team that can run the ball, can throw it, and the Raiders just decide to show up and go, no, we suck. Fuck you. So the Raiders cost me $500 fucking last week. It would have been a massive goddamn week for me. And the Raiders decide to just not show up. They get the Hail Mary and win by 4. Fuck
They
you,
literally
Raiders.
ran a blitz play, like an all-out.
Oh, no. The Jets lost on
suicide
purpose.
blitz.
The Jets lost on purpose to lose this game. The Raiders had to throw
that
a 40-yard
fucking
go
sucks.
route as time expired to win. But just $500 on $10 is what I should have won. And the Raiders just decided we don't want to show up to play football against the worst goddamn team in the last 6 years of football.
Not great, but we're still 10-2. We're still 10-2 combined.
Hey, with that said, I still made like $100 this week.
Teams.
This
Teamwork
weekend.
makes the dream work, bro.
Yeah.
If
I killed it.
If we can't both go 3-0, we're gonna go 2-1 and 3-0, and I think that's a solid strategy for the whole year.
But I should have won 600 this weekend, not 5. It's like when Tony Soprano gets pissed off that the bet doesn't get put in.
Come on.
No, it's not that I lost. I would have won. That's what it is.
And when all of you guys are bet responsibly, but remember, when you're not betting, whenever you don't bet, you lose all the money you could have won if you had won the bet.
If you have a problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER. They'll help you out.
That's what I've been told. I'll go next. Next.
Let me go next because I have a really quick one.
Okay, because I feel like mine are going to be letdowns then. So don't be disappointed when mine are letdowns. But Robert, what you got?
So I bought some new sheets over like Cyber Monday, Black Friday.
Is it because your girlfriend won't let you sleep in the bed with her anymore? Shout out, recent study suggests. I listened to that this week again, and this was, dare I say, the one that resonates with me the most, because I feel like everything you said about Sam is exactly how Emma feels about me, where it's like, are we the ones that like snuggling in our relationship? This is weird. Where it's like Emma would sleep in a sleeping bag on the floor if she could sleep away from me.
So wait, Sam hates Robert too?
Whoa, nobody else hates Robert. We love.
Well, I was
Robert
gonna say, if you just said that Sam feels about Robert the way Emma feels about you, so I assume there's a little hatred.
Emma
going
likes
on.
me. They had to like us, or else they wouldn't be around us.
She
But it was
tolerates
all
us.
about. It was sleep divorces. Go check it out. It was a very interesting podcast, and very rarely do I side with Robert, and I sided with Robert in 99% of that entire podcast. And I was like, everything you said when you checked her on her her nonsense, dare I say, bullshit that she was spewing out there, I was like, I agree with Robert, but also Robert poor-shaded me and made fun of me for not having a king-size bed. So
You just get a king size bed. But I got
poor-shaming
new
is
sheets.
really not cool.
So I got new sheets for that bed, and they get here. I sleep on them the first night.
What was
The
thread
next
count?
morning, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that.
69.
12.
69.
I have fuzz all
It
over
was-
my shirt.
It was sandpaper.
Oh, fuzz
No,
on
I
your
have
shirt?
fuzz. I have fuzz on my shirt. I'm like, what is that? Like, I didn't really think much of it. The next day, I see it again. I'm like, wait, this is the color of the sheets. Like, why do I have fuzz on them?
You
And those
wash
sheets just like have so much lint. I washed them thinking that would help, and you can. I don't know if you can even see that on there. I don't think you can.
Not
A
great. Is that your-
little,
is that
but
your
not really,
Your
no.
laundry, like the lint?
Yeah, that's the lint from the dryer, and it's like completely full. So I think I've solved it because like there's a whole bunch of lint on this dryer thing. So I'm gonna use the sheets again. Next day, more fuzz. I washed them. I've washed them 2 more times, and I've only had them like a week and a half. And it's just every. I'm probably end up returning them. There's like a 60-day trial thing, but yeah, every day there's fuzz on my shirts, my clothes.
I don't know where you bought them. I've got a website that I use that is phenomenal and super soft, and I'll tell you later. They don't pay us, so I'm not going to give them a plug. But
I feel like that, not necessarily with sheets, but if you ever get a sweatshirt or a hoodie and you wear that the first time and you wear like a black shirt under it and it's not a black hoodie, it's like, oh, cool. Now I have all of the white coloring on from the under of the shirt now on my black shirt. So I can't ever take this off. I just have to roll the sleeves up today the whole day at work. That is kind of you always got to wash that shit before you get it. That's a life hack for everybody. Just wash whatever you get before you ever wear it, just to make sure.
also, just sleep naked, dude. Then you won't know it's on your shirt.
It'll be on your ass.
Yeah, but then you put on
It'd
pants.
be like sand.
Unless
It will
you're
be like sand. Just like sand.
oh, actually, that's true. I don't know. I sleep on good sheets, so.
Sorry, we're not all millionaires, Pat.
Oh,
No,
I am
silk sheets.
far from that. Oh, the silk? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? I buy
Whatever, king.
sheets. I buy discount goddamn sheets on promo codes, dog. You got to know how to surf the web. I don't know if you know this. You can buy things online. It's something I've recently gotten into. Something you guys should check out.
2 weeks ago. All right, I got a couple that I can run through real fast. They're not great, but the first one, my not cool. I don't usually do like not cool as I saw in the news. But that fucking woke mall Santa, I don't know if you guys saw it, where the little kid asked him for a Nerf gun. And he's like, well, we don't give guns in the North Pole. Ho, ho. Oh, not even Nerf guns. Your parents can get that. And there's like a little kid just crying at that point, and I've got a pretty good bullshit meter. But like he made a little kid cry, and it was like Santa behind
What
the
a
plexiglass
dick!
thing. He was just being a dickhead, and then his mom was like, we'll get you that. We'll get you that. And you can just tell them, I was like, motherfucker, like, we bring him to the mall. Like, if you're the fucking mall Santa, just say yes. Like, I understand if the kid's like, I'd like a suicide vest. I'd be like, no, sonny, we're not doing that. But, like, a Nerf gun, go fuck yourself, Santa. Like, one, he should be banned from ever being a Santa ever again. Ever. Like, that guy should never
Vegan
be allowed
Santa.
to be a mall Santa ever again for the rest of his life. Because if the kid's not asking for a like terrorist weapon, let him just say yes. Why would you not just like,
uranium.
oh, yes, of course, young man, we'll bring you a Nerf gun. Like that guy doesn't actually physically have to bring him the Nerf gun. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself, dude. All you're supposed to do is be a joyful old fat man with a beard and then just shut the fuck up and like tell the kids what they want to hear. Do that or go fuck yourself. He should never be allowed to work as a Santa again. He's the worst. He is a thief of joy. He is a literal Grinch. He is a Grinch trying to pretend to be Santa. He's an absolute fraud. And this, like, I'm calling the Better Business Bureau if I see him ever again. And I don't really know how to define him from all the rest of the Santas that have fake beards. But if I find out it's the same guy, if somebody's like, hey, that's that Santa that did the Nerf gun thing, I'd be like, I'm calling the Better Business Bureau and be like, hey, fuck this guy. And I'm sure they'd be like, you know what? Yeah, fuck that guy. What a dick. Just shut the fuck up. Tell the kid what he wants to hear. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Like,
So,
what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Go fuck yourself.
yeah, a couple thoughts. Obviously, he's the worst Santa ever.
I hope you get speared to death by a narwhal. Like this fucking narwhal that was like, "Oh, hope you find your dad." Like
Hey, buddy, hope you find
I
your
hope that
dad.
guy fucking rage stabs you, you fuckface. You
No, I hope a
fraud-ass
I hope a
Santa.
6'5"
Fuck you.
elf leans down into his face and goes, "You sit on a throne of lies," and then beats him to death.
Cheese and beer.
No, so first of all, yeah, fuck that guy. I would assume he's a vegan or it was in Portland where this happened. Also, the first thing I thought in my head was, and I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I thought of a specific guy ranting about this, and it would have been nearly identical to yours, but if you raised your voice an octave and sped it up, that would have been the exact Ben Shapiro rant that I pictured in my head.
I bet Santa won't debate me. I bet Santa
See, here's the thing.
Debate me.
Santa Claus is not here to decide whether or not you get the toy. His job is to give you the toy and say whether or not you need to have it.
Facts don't care about your feelings, okay? Listen to me here. All right, my wife doesn't want to fuck me. That's fine. I will talk about
Santa Claus. The facts are Santa Claus gives you toys. Santa Claus does not decide what toys you should or should not get. Facts don't care about your feelings. Santa does not care about your feelings towards the toy. Santa just needs the toy. That's what it is, okay? Okay, folks, okay?
Don't care about your feelings.
For those of you that can't see it, Alex is sinking down in his chair to be very short. But that's what made me laugh. It's like, man, I would love to see Ben Shapiro's rant on this, and it was identical. I'm pretty sure, except you never said the word Second Amendment, and I'm pretty sure Shapiro would have said that.
So I don't know how to back that up. So like, I'm not gonna be that guy.
And also,
I'm not a Second Amendment guy. So when I have a problem with it, then fuck you.
Okay. You gotta throw in the guys. Okay. That's the Shapiro thing.
You understand.
But I hope
like
the kid's dad was there and took
Santa. Fuck
or
you.
Or honestly, that kid's dad or just any other dad in line should have taken Santa out back and beat him. You're Santa. You don't say no to the kid. You just say yes to everything. I want a pony.
Little kid. You made a kid cry, Santa. Fuck you, dude.
Or you never say no. You don't have to say yes, but like the kid's like, I want a castle. And you're like, I'm gonna work on that for you, little girl. You've been very good this year.
Dude.
You don't even have to say yes.
Unless they're like, I'd like a
no.
suicide bomb vest. I'd be like, well, I mean, we'll ask your parents about that. What else would you like, Sonny? Like, you ask others, you change the conversation. Like, it's not up to you to tell a kid what they can and cannot have. Well, your mom and dad, like, fuck you, Santa. I know it's not you delivering that. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself,
that guy,
dude.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck you. Fuck that.
Seriously, no. I hope somebody kicked the shit out of him. I hope somebody beat that guy's ass while he was wearing his Santa suit. Well, I just don't think it's appropriate for kids to have these guys. It's not your fucking choice. You are not the child's parent.
I bet, like, if the kid was like, can I get a Harry Potter book? You'd be like, oh, well, we don't believe in witchcraft here at the North Pole. You go fuck yourself, Santa, dude. Nobody cares.
We don't have magic at the North Pole. We just have little elves
kid asked for just a shit ton of plastic straws.
That'd be the funniest thing if he was like, well, magic is evil. And he was like, really? You got a bunch of elves that make a bunch of fucking toys, and you fly and deliver presents to every single child on Earth. Oh, man, I want to see that movie Fat Boy with Santa's a fucking killer.
So, yeah, that woke Santa Claus, he's not cool. And then my other
Fuck you, Santa should never be woke.
And I had to preface my not cool by being like, this is not an anti-police not cool. But I was held up on my way home today from work. And, like, there's times where, like, you're in traffic and you're like, why is it going so slow? And then you find out why it's going so slow. You're like, what the fuck, guys? And it was because there were, like, 6 cops on horses that were just changing lanes and shit and walking their horses. It's like, guys, I'm pretty sure we have cars for this. Like, I'm driving a 2007 Ranger, 2007 Ford Ranger. Pretty sure it's got more than 6 horsepower. So if all 6 of you guys try to chase me, I can outrun you, all of you. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, oh, we're just taking our horses on a stroll. Okay, they have trailers for horses. This isn't the fucking trail ride. I understand. I get we just moved the rodeo to whenever the fuck they moved the rodeo to. But it was just like, dude, I'm fucking blocking my way home. And like, I wasn't that mad, but it was just like, don't they, like, did they run out of cop cars? And they're like, hey, you six got the fucking horses. And
What did that
the
change
fuck, dude?"
did that change your commute from 6 minutes to 9 minutes?
It was like 15 minutes, dude. It was the worst.
Whoa.
Felt like prison.
You poor thing.
It was, dude. Yeah. Thank you for your sympathy.
Yeah, you
get
could have
it.
just been like, you could have walked in here today and been like, guys, I saw a horse today. But no, you choose.
I
to
mean,
be
the
negative.
horse that was just being forced to work against its will, probably.
Here's the thing, Robert.
You weren't wagging tails.
I'm the negative one here on the podcast. You need to look. Robert is the positive one, and you're our middle ground. You need to just look for things that are cool. And you could have been like, guys, I saw 6 horses today. It was fucking cool. They were running down the road. It was amazing. Their manes were blowing in the air. Instead,
if I saw 6 horses just running down by themselves, I would be like, that was fucking awesome.
oh,
like,
but
if there were
because
just
they're
6
attached to
wild,
cops,
if
you're
there
not
no,
with
no,
the
no, no,
horses
no, no,
because cops
if there
are
were 6
Okay.
wild horses wandering the road just blocking traffic, I'd be like, that was, dude, how did 6 wild horses get out like that? Like, that's crazy. But then, like, you saw the cops are like marching down. And I was like, what are y'all doing? And I was like, maybe there's a protest. I understand. Like, I know, like, the horses in protest, you can see over a lot of things. I understood that. I was like, I can't see anything. So in my vicinity, it was just like, guys, y'all are just causing me to not be able to turn left on my light right now. And it's really
Instead of 6 minutes, it took me 15 minutes to get home. It was so hard.
lots of me just sitting there yelling.
No, I'm with you, dude. Sitting in traffic when you don't know what's happening sucks, which is how it always is for me in traffic because I'm in a car. I've got no height to see what's going on. The only thing worse is than finding out what caused you to slow down is when you get through it and you don't know why. You can't see any reason for the
Or
slowdown.
when you see it's just rubbernecking and you're like, fuck all of
No.
you.
I
hate rubberneckers.
I'm fine. Well, that's usually what it is you see an accident, you know what it is. That sucks. But when you slow down to a crawl, and then out of nowhere, it just opens up. And you're like, there's no accident. There's no cop car. Why the fuck did this happen? Why am I slowed down to 30 miles an hour on a 65 mile an hour freeway where we were going 75? And there's no fucking reason. Now, I assume there was somebody pulled over and everyone slowed down for the cop. But when you cannot see the reason for the slowdown, it makes me exponentially more angry. I want to murder everyone. I want to throw babies off of bridges. I want to spike javelins through fucking preteens' hearts. I don't care. Anyone in my warp path at that point dies. I'm so angry, but I don't know why. I don't know. I went from babies to preteens. That was the next step.
That's weird.
Don't act like you've never. Junior high kids are the biggest dicks on the planet. All right, they're either insecure and shy,
True.
or they're insecure and they're the meanest people on the planet.
Accurate.
I'd love to kick a fucking 7th grader in the rib cage.
Does this feel like the longest not cool you've ever done, maybe?
Probably. I mean, we did have a lot of listener
ones. But that was it. That was our not cools for this week. Hashtag PTG not cool at Pass the Grade Pod. Let's wrap this up with the answers segment that is my favorite segment we do every single week. Hashtag PTG answers at Pass the Grade Pod. If you got a high thought, something you think of in the shower, something you think of while drunk, something your friend tells you, but you've always just wanted the answer to, something you see online, but you want to know what the Gravy Games have to say. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Hit us up. Hashtag PTG answers at Pass the Gravy Pod. And answers at passthegravepod.com. If you don't have a Twitter, but we do look at Twitter first, hashtag PTG answers at Pass the Gravy Pod. This is brought to you by Little M Air Fresheners, the best air fresheners in the entire world. They don't just do air fresheners. They also have keychains. Their getaway car keychain has been flying off the shelves. I know that they had to reorder new envelopes because they had their things flying off the shelves because they're very popular right now. Go get the perfect Christmas presents for you guys, you gals, all of that stuff. They had all this awesome stuff. They have pandemic Christmas cards ready to go. If you didn't have the opportunity to take a picture to send to all your friends, you can go order these bad boys, send them right over there. They're going to get shipped to you real fast. LittleMShop.com, LittleEMShop.com. The best air fresheners in the whole wide world, the best stickers in the whole wide world, the best everything in the entire world. Little M air fresheners at Little M Shop, at Little EM Shop on Twitter and Instagram, or on Twitter it's at Little M Tweets, on Instagram at Little M Shop, at Little EM Shop, LittleMShop.com, LittleEMShop.com. The best air fresheners and everything else in the entire world. LittleMShop.com, the official presenting sponsor of this week's Answers segment.
Just answer the question. Why just answer the question? Be honest. No big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject. Just answer the fucking question.
Any questions?
All right, let's start with our podcast son up for the MVP nominee of the Gravies Awards at OMG. It's Skylar. It's Skylar.
Oh my God,
Left.
Skylar!
And he says he already has our addresses, delivery drones, a wish list, and an intimate knowledge of our habits. So what's stopping Jeff Bezos from being Santa? Makes you wonder.
It's his goddamn money.
I think he could be Santa. In a lot of ways, I think he is Santa.
I don't know, comrade. Why do you feel he must be your Santa Claus?
Well, I know you use Belschnickel like I traditionally have.
Do you feel entitled to his money, comrade?
Well, a lot of people do. I don't like you calling me comrade, but
No, I was talking to Skylar.
oh, okay. Yes. In a sense, I think Jeff Bezos is 100% Santa.
Well, he could be, but if he bought everything on Amazon for everyone, then he would just be recycling his own money into his product, and his stock prices would drop. That's why. It's not how capitalism works, son. Let me give you an economic. I know you're our son, so we should give you a couple economic lessons. If I own a bakery and I buy all of my own pastries, I'm not actually making any money.
Very good point you're making right there.
Now, I love donuts, and I can have a couple donuts, but if I eat all of my donuts, I go out of business.
Right.
Probably won't happen on that scale when I'm already worth like $2 billion, but then maybe I'm only worth $1 billion. And that's no good. I didn't invent the greatest sales force or sales product sales thing on the history of the planet Earth.
You're crushing it right now.
Just to decrease my worth.
I think Jeff Bezos is also Santa. Robert, what do you think?
Yeah, he's Santa.
He could be.
So overruled, Pat.
He's not. No, he's not fat enough. Unless he can put on the suit and then take it off.
He can put on a fat suit.
But
He's Jeff Bezos. He can buy a fat suit. He can buy whatever he wants.
From what I understand about the Santa suit, once you put it on, you're fat. You can take it off, but you're still fat. The weight doesn't go anywhere. You're fat until the job is done.
Santa Claus, you pretty much turn into Santa.
Yes.
So yeah, he is.
That was
Santa.
a documentary.
Yes, it was a documentary. He's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Brett Brandon. He's the next one. Brandon Whitehead at Brando Whitehead on Twitter. Oh, I already talked about is Jesus a reverse vampire? But Brandon Whitehead, excuse me, he wants to know if vampires can drown. And I would say yes.
Yeah.
Whoa, come here. Emma just came over here shaking her head, bringing me Chex Mix. As she brings me Chex Mix that I'm not allowed
Hey,
to.
eat that right into the
I just
microphone.
read the Twilight prequel. They cannot drown.
They can't drown?
They don't breathe.
No, Alex,
They don't
eat
breathe
it
at
into the
all?
microphone.
By the way, Emma makes the best Chex Mix ever.
Also, you're assuming that
They
Twilight.
just don't breathe at all? No. Like they don't inhale? That's insanity.
Well, she's assuming that Twilight is the definitive knowledge of vampires.
What
I'm
did
pretty sure it
Dracula
is,
do?
Pat. Pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any other definitive knowledge of
Blade?
Right, Blade. You're right. Good call.
Blade is definitely what it
Touche.
is.
Touche. So Blade might be it.
While they sustain themselves on blood, you still have to breathe to keep
I
the
would
blood.
say a vampire could drown. I think a vampire could drown.
Because you have to breathe to keep the blood still flowing through your system.
What if you put them in like liquefied silver and they drown in that, right? Don't vampires hate silver?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be straight up torture. That would
If
be
you
like
put
putting
a blender full of garlic that you just like liquefied, you pureed some garlic and you drown a vampire. Like they'd definitely drown in that.
Bro, I've got so much garlic in my system at all times. I'm pretty sure if a vampire tried to eat me, they'd be done anyway.
That's why I always eat all that garlic. I'm always just like, yeah, put garlic in it. No thanks, vampires.
It's the best.
And I don't trust vampires.
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
vampires are real, but just you never know.
Vampires can drown because
vampires.
vampires can drown because you still need the flow of oxygen to keep the blood moving.
You can tell sometimes when Robert is just like, this podcast has gone way too long. And right now, that's Robert's face. If you're watching the video version of it, Robert's face is just like,
me,
guys,
Robert.
Can we wrap it up? And when
Excuse
Pat
me.
goes off on a tangent, you can just see Robert's eyes like, no, not again. And it's pretty funny.
Well, you know what, Robert? I just finished my 9th beer. I'm going to try and finish 10 before we end. So let's fucking go.
So I'm nowhere near as big as you, Pat. So congrats to us on crushing it right now.
I'm just trying to annoy Robert.
Brett Brandon at Price of a ZJ. I love Robert, so I'm not trying to annoy him. He is my friend, and I don't want to upset him. The Brett Brandon, this is a very good question, maybe the best question we have all week. Brett Brandon at Price of a ZJ says, what were electric eels called before electricity was discovered?
Ooh,
They didn't exist.
Somebody replied to him and said spicy eels ? And I really like that. I think spicy, because like spicy is a little bit like that's perfect for like the way, like if you didn't know what electricity was and you felt something and it just stung the fuck out of you, like you'd kind of like, it was a little spicy.
I like Dan at Dr. Hamato Yoshi replied, "Don't touch 'em, eels." That just makes me laugh. It's almost like, what is that? It's a "don't touch 'em, eel." Don't do it. I like shocky worms.
Shocky worms is really good.
Is something I like.
All right, what do you think? You have any ideas?
I think they didn't exist yet. You know, it's kind of like when
But
it
you
comes
have to call them something. Like, what if you found an eel and you're like, what? Whoa, dude, just shocked me. Like, you don't know what electricity is at that point, but like, you're like, it's like a shocky eel.
Bat
I think
or snake.
a spicy eel or a spiky eel sounds perfect, because if you didn't know what a shock was, you might think it was a little bit of a spike or a stab. But spicy,
I also like,
seems like it fits every stereotype, where it's like, it's, I wouldn't want to eat this, but it like got me.
No, boom boom water snakes. I like. It's
Boom,
not.
boom,
It doesn't roll off like the last one I said.
I like boom
but
boom water snake a lot.
Yeah.
Actually.
Just.
I think I'm sold on boom boom water snake. Honestly, it's not the right answer, but it is the answer.
I still like shocky eels, but boom boom water snake also just makes me laugh to say out loud.
I also like acoustic eels.
Emma apparently liked that one. I heard her laughing.
You heard Emma laughing? Yeah.
Acoustic eels.
I think an acoustic eel would be really funny. Do you want the electric or the acoustic eel, sir? I'm gonna go acoustic tonight for this set.
Well, no, then it would.
It's an under the sea coffee shop.
Hold on, it could not be the acoustic eel. Every other eel that's not an electric eel is an acoustic eel.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like acoustic eels too. I'm a huge fan of acoustic eels. Let me just put that on the record. Any eels listening, huge fan.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with either
number one podcast and eel listeners, actually. Pass.
I'm gonna go. gonna go with Boom Boom Water Snake or Shocky Worm.
Robert, you break the tie. You decide.
I like Boom Boom Water Snake.
Boom Boom Water Snake is pretty great.
Boom Boom Water Snake.
Which really just sounds like a water snake that's taking a shit, if you ask me.
Sorry to throw this in out of nowhere. I'm sure we'll find out about it later. Robert, I don't know what's going on, but apparently Daredevil's going to join Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That has nothing to do with it. I just saw a dude tweeted about that. Guess we saved Daredevil, so.
Boom Boom Water Snake, right, guys? You guys get it.
Boom Boom Water Snake, let's do it.
Moving on, our next question is from Josh Treecottle at JoshuaTree713, the possible candidate for MVP of Pass the Gravy at the Gravies Awards. Josh Tree says, who do you have in a celebrity death match? The Grinch, Santa, Frosty, or Rudolph? Any other Christmas figures that you'd like to see in the ring with them? So all of this, I think we got to go. I really feel like I like it when they just give us the contestants. And I feel like we have to just pick between what he's given us, the Grinch, Santa, Frosty, or Rudolph.
So
Frosty is out.
I need to know,
because he's a snowman.
are we doing
melt, and you can melt the fuck out of Frosty with just like putting pressure on him.
Are we doing
Frosty's
Grinch? Are we doing the Grinch before or
Jim
after
Carrey is
his
the
heart
Grinch.
grew sizes?
Before. Mean Grinch.
Oh, Grinch.
No, I disagree.
That dude's a stone cold killer.
If he can set up traps and stuff, I still think Santa Claus can fuck anybody up any day.
I think Santa. It's Santa versus Grinch, no doubt. But Grinch will fight dirty.
Santa over Grinch every day because Santa has Christmas cheer. Grinch is just angry, and we've seen on Star Wars many times anger clouds your judgment.
Yeah, but the Grinch will fight fucking dirty. He'll gouge your eyes. He'll go for the balls.
Santa is the same
the
guy.
Grinch will go for the
not
gooch.
woke Santa. Rudolph, though, has the ability to stab people to death. So what do we go with that? And also, if you break your nose, then you can maybe electrocute people. I think Rudolph has a weird, sneaky edge.
Rudolph would be good too, just because he's
I
a
would go
four-legged animal and he's got
Santa,
that strong
Rudolph,
kid.
Grinch, then
No.
Frosty. If we were ranking how this would finish.
No, Grinch, Santa, Rudolph, Frosty.
Robert, break the tie. Who do you think wins this whole thing? And why?
I think Santa. Santa.
Because he's
got-
Santa. He runs Christmas. He's like the mafia don. You don't fuck with Tony Soprano. It's like if you came at Tony Soprano, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but maybe some people tried to come at Tony Soprano, and I don't think it ended greatly for them.
I respect that, but I disagree. But
I
that's
think
fine.
Santa, power ranking, Robert. Santa, Rudolph, Grinch, Frosty, correct?
I don't know. I think Frosty can be a little tricky. He can be a little
Frosty's
sneaky.
going to get melted. I want to melt the fuck out of Frosty. I could fuck up Frosty.
Have you ever seen Jack Frost though? That was a deadly snowman.
Good point. I still think I could have fucked him up if I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean you just pee on him
lay
and he
out
melts.
and melt him. Yeah. Like you're weak if you're Frosty.
Yeah.
Frosty's the worst one. Then I would say Grinch is third worst, then Rudolph, then Santa, just because Rudolph loves Santa.
You're just wrong.
Santa found him and saved him. So I think Santa wins that one. All right, in a celebrity death match. Our next.
Wait.
Not our final one.
Wait. Can we pause? I don't think I'm going to make it through two questions without taking a piss. So
go take a
break
piss,
real quick.
and
Give
then
me
me and Robert will finish it out. Me and Robert.
Give me
will
like
finish
30
it out.
seconds. I'll be right back.
All right, Robert, we're gonna keep going then. Danielle Weston at Danny_Weston. She says, if you were an action figure, what 2 accessories would you come with? Ooh, that's a good one. Like is it like things your action figure would come with?
Yeah. I don't know if I would come with like any specific accessories. I think I would just come with like different arm attachments. So like one arm attachment, like I can put like my hand over my face, like I'm face palming.
That's a good one. And the other one you spread out so Sam can't sleep next to you because
Right.
is that what it would be?
Yeah, maybe. Like here's my space. Like I'm a starfish.
No, she's the starfish.
She's the starfish. I'm a stick.
A recent study suggests go check it out. It's a great. This is my favorite. Like I said that 2 weeks ago, I think. This was my favorite one because I was just like, every time people shit on Robert Barbosa, I'm like, this is the Robert Barbosa I love because this is. I was like, I'd snuggle Robert Barbosa. I don't give a fuck. If Sam doesn't want to snuggle you, I'll snuggle you, buddy. Not in a weird way, just in like a hey, we're just bros.
I'll make it weird.
Sometimes bros just snuggle each other, dude. That's what happens, man. It's not a sexual thing. It's a bro thing. You know?
That's 100% true. I'll snuggle my bros all the time.
You just snuggle your bros sometimes. You guys don't do that. Everybody does that.
You can't spoon with your buddy, like with your best friends. They're not your best friends.
Robert, what would the two like accessories of your arms be that would come on? Like, you thinking blades?
Ooh, yeah, like a sword blade. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what else. What else would it be?
Robert's metal as fuck.
Accessories to your action figure that comes with you. What would the two be?
Obviously, there's gonna be a beer in one hand.
I was gonna say that.
And a platypus in the other.
Keyword puss. That's what I'm talking about.
And my other hand, it's either, let's see, beer in one hand, probably my dip can in the other, but it would be like because it's a circle, it'd be one of those arms that like can throw a disc because it's an action figure. So that's what it'd be like. You could use my dip can as a weapon.
Mine would probably be a beer, a Southern Star, and then a giant Super Bowl ring, probably, because the Giants win a Super Bowl game.
Oh, but it's your action figure. It's something that needs to be used as a weapon. So obviously,
fuck you. A ring fucks people up, dude. So like,
actually, I would say the beer is probably gonna be my left hand, and the left hand is the action arm that when you press it, it just goes right up to the mouth. That's that one. And then the right hand is the dip can, where it's the arm that does that action, like throwing / hitting, like slash motion, because it's my action figure, and I want it to be able to like do something. So, like, it's going to be one of those ones where you load the can right into it and you hit the button on the action figure, or, like, press the shoulder and the arm throws forward, and it throws the can forward.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a dip can in one that can be also doubled as a weapon, and a beer can in the other for me to just crank fucking Southern Stars as I'm defeating evil as Pat-Man.
I'd like a beer, and then for me, it'd probably be like a losing betting slip. On the other hand,
and you just give people a paper cut with it.
Yeah, that'd probably be mine. So you have just arm accessories, Robert. That's what yours are.
Yeah, maybe a PlayStation too.
A blade and a PlayStation. I like that. That's a good one.
That's what I thought about initially was the controller.
I'm definitely the worthless one out of all of this.
I don't know. Paper cuts can hurt.
Those do suck. But
that suck real bad.
Not as bad as a lot of other shit would. But our final answers question this week. Mikey P writes in. He's at It's Just Mikey P, and he says, if you were a WWE superstar, what would your ring name be, and what would your finisher be named?
I don't know why, but literally the first thing that popped in my head was the Big Boss. I don't know why. I thought it had to be big something, and it'd be the Big Boss. Obviously, I would be a shirtless one. Like, I would straight up wear just the whitey or the Speedo, like Stone Cold wore.
Yeah.
Basically, I would look like Bert Kreischer in a Speedo and knee pads and tall boots. That's what I would.
Bert Kreischer, but
yeah.
I think I would probably go. My Among Us name is Gravy King. I would just go Gravy King, and
that's good.
Like, my signature thing would be like the gravy boat, and I don't know what it would be, but that would just be the name of whatever the move I did would be.
See, here's how I see it for us.
I would spear you like Goldberg would, but I'd put one of those little like paper boat hats that people folded on your head as I did it, and then it was like, oh, now you're a captain, but also you're a captain of a sinking ship. Boom.
See, here's the thing. I don't see us as individual wrestlers. I see us kind of as a group where I would be the wrestler. Alex, you would be my manager. Like, you'd be the out of the ring guy that antagonizes shit and stirs shit up.
I like that.
And gets it moving. And Robert is 100% Jerry the King Lawler. He's in the booth.
Absolutely.
He's outside calling the match.
You're Jerry the King for sure.
Robert the Voice.
Robert, what about you?
I feel like it would be something like the podcaster, and my finisher would be like, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
He
The
gets-
rapper. And it's
he gets the hand-
WRAPPER, and you're like, I'm gonna give you the cyclone. And the cyclone
puts
is
his-
really you just wrapping them up with your finger, and you're basically just spinning like a basketball, and then you punch them in the face because they're
No, that's what it is. He puts the finger up, and everyone sees it, gets the crowd going, starts whirling it in the let's wrap it up fashion, and then charges you and bashes you with
Robert
that
wins
hand
WrestleMania
and
so fast.
drops you with the wrap it up hand. Like it's when the guy's in the corner, like getting up off the ropes, and he's facing away with you, and Robert's in the center of the ring with the hand up, circling it, wrap it up. And as soon as the dude like stumbles and turns around, Robert drops him with the wrap it up hand, lays on top. 1, 2, 3. Robert's the heavyweight champion of the world.
Perfect, honestly.
That's it, dude. Actually, fuck it. Is Robert the wrestler and I'm the promoter
Robert's the wrestler.
and I'm the manager, and Alex, you're the announcer. I had this all wrong.
Robert's the king of this group, honestly.
That's what it is. Robert has the finisher. I've got the boisterousness.
We just haven't wanted to admit it this whole time. Like Robert
I've got the boisterousness.
is the star of this, and we've really just been trying to cover it up.
You know what it is?
Year.
It's like when Kane.
You've been a part of this.
It's like when Kane started, and Kane never talked, but he had that manager that always fucking was running around talking way too much. That's me. Robert's the talent. Yeah. Alex, you're the hype man. You're in the booth. Guys.
Nailed it.
I hate to say
I think we ended on that. I think we got to end on that because we just crushed that question.
We nailed it.
Robert. It was 75 hours in, but we crushed it.
The podcaster and the wrap it up.
The
my God.
And co.
The fat man as the manager. Fat manager.
And the walkout song would just be Final Countdown. Because Robert says, fucking get out of here. Let's go. Speaking of let's go, that was it, guys. Thank you so much. At PassAGayPod, hashtag PTG Answers. Send us your answers, questions on Twitter, answers at PassAGayPod.com. I am at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at Not Pat D, and Robert is at Robert Barbosa03. We are at Pass the Gay Pod. Pass the Gay 7th annual Christmas Spooktacular going down Saturday, December 19th at Southern Star Brewing Company. Please be a part of that. It's going to be a great time, and I love all of you guys. At Alex J. Middleton, at Not Pat Dion, at Robert Barbosa. Follow at A Recent Study Pod.
Yes, A Recent Study Pod on Instagram
Best
and
podcast
Twitter.
He's just put out. It's awesome, although I did get a little upset with Sam, but I sided with Robert. If you want to side with Robert, listen to the podcast because it's great. And let's go Giants. Let's go Packers. Let's go West Ham. Let's fuck them up.
Let's go Saints.
6-0. And Saints and Texans. Let's go all those teams. All those teams. Let's get some dubs. We love all you guys.
Go Astros.
And Astros, who aren't playing,
always go Astros.
And Yankees. Probably won't. Neither team will probably lose between now and then.
And Bruins.
We love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. And until next week, pass the game, you bitches.
Honey came in and she got me red-handed, creeping with a girl next door. Now picture this, we were both